game between the BASTROP Bears and the Connally Cougars. This is the third and final non-district game for the Bears after starting the 2018 season 2-0 with wins over Brian Rudder and Austin Reagan, both at home. I am Robert Artis, joined by my co-host John Williams.
Hello, Robert. We are not far away from the 7 p.m. kickoff of tonight's game between the BASTROP Bears and the Connally Cougars. The last 2 weeks have been very good for the Bears as they beat Brian Rudder 36-14 and then beat Austin Reagan 61-3 last week. BASTROP was clearly better than those two other teams, but tonight the Bears will face a tougher test with Connally, who is a little bit bigger school based on enrollment figures and is playing in Division I of the Class 5A football division system. Connally comes into this game against the Bears with an 0-2 record with a loss in the first week, 56-41 against Austin High, and then a close game against Del Valley with a score of 26-21, another loss for Pflugerville. Last week, BASTROP jumped on Austin Reagan right from the first play from scrimmage, a 65-yard touchdown strike from Bears quarterback Desmond Young to wide receiver Cedric Tarver. And then the Bears never let up from there, scoring at will before the coaches agreed at halftime to run a continuous clock for the second half. This game tonight for the Bears is the last tune-up game before district play starts in 2 weeks after a bye week next week for BASTROP. That first district game will be back here at the field on Thursday, September 27th for a District 13 5A Division II game against the Pflugerville Weiss Wolves. Last week, the Connally Cougars had a 21-13 lead over 6A opponent Del Valley, but was not able to hold that lead and ended up with a 5-point loss. We'll have more on what to expect tonight from both the Bears and the Cougars, but this looks to be the toughest contest so far for the Bears after 2 big wins early on in this young 2018 football season. The weather for tonight's game may be an issue as we've been dealing with wet weather here in Central Texas, but for now skies are clear and the game time temperature will be in the mid-70s at kickoff, cooling off slightly from there as the game progresses. We'll be keeping an eye on the weather for you to see if any nearby storms head towards Pflugerville.
Last week against Austin Reagan, the Bears were led by junior quarterback Desmond Young on offense, who was 8 for 8 passing for 194 yards and 4 touchdowns. 3 of those touchdowns were thrown to junior receiver Cedric Tarver, who had 4 catches and 124 yards. He finished the game with 4 total touchdowns, 3 receiving, and 1 on a kickoff return. On the ground last week, quarterback Young was also the leading rusher for the Bears with 78 carries on 6 yards, and almost matching that with 1 carry was backup quarterback Romello Flores-Giles, who had a long 74-yard touchdown run late in the second half. The defense was also very solid last week, with Faison Madison getting his 2nd interception in as many games, and a solid run-stopping play by Simeon Thompson, Tyron Smith, Paul Ford, and Armando Zamora. Reagan was really outmatched all night by the Bears last week. Bears went in, took a 48-0 halftime lead, and didn't get Reagan didn't get a first down until the second half of the game. On the season, after 2 games, BASTROP has thrown for a total of 407 yards, 354 of those from quarterback Desmond Young, who was 13 of 19 on the season and passing for 5 touchdowns. Running the ball has been a little less prolific for the Bears in 2018, who have a total of 264 yards rushing on 57 carries, 7 touchdowns. Quarterback Desmond Young is the Bears' leading rusher so far with 121 yards on 15 carries. The Bears will want to try to get senior running back Jaquay Cretin involved more in the running attack starting tonight against Connally, especially if it's going to be a wet and sloppy field like it potentially could be. Rain chances right now are sitting at about 50%, and like John said, we've got storms all around us. BASTROP's going to look to improve their excellent defensive play tonight in what could be a high-scoring track meet type of an exciting game. Here's a midweek interview I had with Bears coach Todd Patman discussing tonight's game. We're here with Coach Todd Patman, head coach of the BASTROP Bears. Coach, thanks again for joining us here at the field up in Pflugerville for tonight's match up against Connally. Just really quick, Connally's no longer in the district, but you guys chose them as a non-district game. Has the competitive nature of the last 2 games that we've had with these guys have something to do with that?
It sure does. Last year we beat them 50-48, with less than a minute left in the game. And so we're very similar schools. And so we've been rivals in basketball, track, tennis, whatever. And so it seemed natural to continue to play them.
We've had a lot of rain these last couple of weeks, and unlike a lot of schools here in Central Texas, we don't have turf on campus. How has that affected y'all's preparations?
Well, our kids have had to be patient, and coaches have had to alter plans. And so we've had to be indoors some. We had to find good grass in certain areas, and then one day we drove out to Memorial to get a practice in before the middle school game. And so, we're kind of all over the place, but hopefully our kids are focused and ready to go tonight.
So speaking of, there is a lot of rain in the forecast. We've got some showers popping up around. This is a team, Connally, that likes to put the ball in the air a lot. Do you foresee any changes in their plans? Do you maybe think both schools might offensively have to go rely on the run a little bit more?
Well, I think you are what you are. And so Connally's quarterback throws a very good ball. From about 15 in, he is on point. They run a lot of crossing routes, digs, and so I'd be surprised if they don't try to do that. He throws the screen very well. So, for us, we're going to try to be balanced. We want to run the ball and be able to throw the ball and take shots when they're there.
Speaking of quarterback Darius McGrew, he's got a pretty good stable of wide receivers. We're sitting down here on the field watching these guys. These guys look like they run really sharp routes. They've got a lot of good speed and a lot of weapons he's got to choose from.
Yes, and when you play Connally, that's what you're going to face, and so it's always good to get against a team with that much speed and athleticism on both sides of the ball. Your secondary is good, and they have fast kids, and so it'll be a great test for us, and I think we're looking forward to it.
One thing we wanted to highlight on tonight's interview is the play of our two defensive ends. Simeon and Zevin have just really done an outstanding job, really shutting down a lot of that outside stuff. You expect those guys to have a big night tonight?
Well, I think they're a part of being the key of the game is them containing the quarterback. And so they have to have a big game. They like to run the quarterback inside the red zone on zone read, so they press them on the quarterback. So those two guys will be, a big factor in how we do tonight.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll be looking forward to tonight's game, and best of luck for the Bears.
That was Bears head coach Todd Patman. And, Robert, one of the things that I kind of took away from that interview you had with Coach Patman is he expects his defense to step up again tonight. He also expects Connally to pass just as much as they have in recent weeks, even though weather looks like that might be an issue. He doesn't expect them to make many changes. Look for probably quite a few screen passes tonight. The Pflugerville Connally Cougars are led by head coach Jason Cecil and returned 11 starters from last year, 7 on offense, 4 on defense, with the Cougars going 3-7 a year ago and 2-6 in district. That was the same district Bastrop was in last year, and Bastrop beat Connally last year by the score of 50-46. A very exciting game that had the Bears pulling out the win with a defensive stop right at the end of the game. The stat sheet this year for Pflugerville Connally shows a Cougars team that likes to pass quite a bit, like we mentioned, with junior quarterback Darius McGrew already with 400 yards passing in 2 games on 32 completions and 56 attempts with 4 touchdowns. As a comparison, the Cougars only have 132 total yards on the ground after 2 games, so a much more pass-oriented offense for Connally, at least through their first 2 games of the season. The leading rusher for the Cougars is sophomore running back Demetrius Gardner, who has 105 yards on 29 carries and 2 touchdowns after 2 games. Quarterback McGrew is the Cougars' second leading rusher with 23 yards on 21 carries and 2 touchdowns. We mentioned that McGrew has thrown the ball a lot this year, and his leading receiver is senior Diamante Francois, who has 262 yards receiving on 15 catches and all 4 receiving touchdowns for the year for this Cougars ball club. The second leading receiver is senior receiver Stephen Crenshaw with 71 yards on 6 catches. We're going to break it here right now and go down to the field for the playing of the national anthem, which is currently in progress. That was the Pflugerville Connally choir singing the national anthem. Apologize for missing a little bit of this national anthem. We're caught a little bit off guard by them doing it a little earlier than we are used to in our broadcast. We had mentioned some of the offensive statistics for the season for Pflugerville Connally. On defense, the Cougars have been led by senior linebacker Jeffrey Ward, junior defensive back Jahade Barron, and senior defensive back Keith Williams. Checking the enrollment figures for Pflugerville Connally show 1,857 students out of District 11 5A Division I. As a comparison, the Bastrop Bears have an enrollment figure of 1,469 students out of District 13 5A Division II.
Well, John, as usual, this looks like the makings of an exciting football game with the Cougars having a quarterback that passes the ball a lot, at least based on what we've seen on the season stat sheets. I'll come back in a few moments with the Bears' 3 keys to victory for tonight, but first I want to list off the District 13 5A Division II scores from last week and take a look at the district schedule for this week. Last week, as we mentioned earlier, Bastrop beat Austin Reagan 61-3 to go 2-0. Weiss is now 0-2 with a loss last week to Canyon Lake 20-3. Georgetown Eastview is also 0-2 with a close 46-44 loss to New Braunfels Canyon. Brenham is 0-2 now after a 28-21 loss to Waller. And Glenn, as well, is 0-2 in the district with not in district play, but 0-2 in non-district play with a 25-14 loss to Round Rock McNeil. Marble Falls is now 1-1 after beating Burnett 34-14 last week. Elgin is 1-1 after beating the Bastrop Bears' common opponent, Brian Rudder, by a score of 51-32. Finally, Cedar Creek is 1-1 after losing last week to Austin Aikens by 10 points, 23-13. That means after 2 weeks of play, the District 13 5A Division II record is 5-11, with your Bastrop Bears the only team that is 0-2. Tonight's 13 5A Division II matchups are as follows. For tonight's game, Eastview plays at Austin Reagan at Nelson Field in Austin. Brenham plays Houston Heights on the road. Marble Falls plays Navarro on the road. Cedar Creek plays on the road at Fredericksburg. Of course, the Bastrop Bears are here on the road tonight at the field against the Connally Cougars. And Elgin played Pflugerville High last night here and got beat 40-17. Weiss played Rouse, lost 41-13. Leander Glenn played McCallum at home and beat the Knights 30-26. We'll be following the scores from our district tonight, and we'll go ahead and take it down to the field for the kickoff.
All right, so here we are. You heard it over the PA. It is game time. Bastrop lost the toss, but Pflugerville deferred, so Bastrop will be receiving. Back deep to receive is actually not sure who that is, back deep to receive, but here's the kick. Kind of a short kick. It's fielded by the upback at the 17-yard line. It's up to the 20, up to the 30, up to the 40 before he is stopped. That is number 2, Kalen Hodge, with the return for Bastrop. Bastrop's going to get great field position to start this game. Going to be placed on about the, let's look to see where they spotted, about the 41-yard line. Their own 40, let's call it the 42-yard line will be 1st and 10 for the first play of the game. Kind of a sparse crowd tonight, Robert. Looks like maybe the weather is encouraging folks to stay home. Hopefully they're tuning in to us on the radio.
Yeah, it's Bastrop looks like we actually may have more fans here tonight than Connally.
So here's the Bastrop offense. Desmond Young at quarterback. To his right is number 32, running back Eddie Brown. Couple receivers out to each side. Here is a handoff to, no, it's a keeper by Young. He goes out to the right side, picks up about 4 or 5 yards before he is pushed out of bounds at about the Bastrop 47. Is going to bring up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, it's number 26 there, Torrey Harrison, the junior defensive back, playing left corner there for the Cougars that runs Young out of bounds.
All right, so here is 2nd down. Young back in the shotgun, 3 receivers out to the left. It is a handoff to Eddie Brown, who doesn't quite get enough for the 1st down. Actually, they're going to mark him on a spot that says he only got about a yard. So about 3rd and 4. Ball's on the 48-yard line.
Definite passing down here for the Bears.
Yeah, a couple receivers out to either side. Eddie Brown off to his left. Young back to pass. He's looking deep. He's got Cedric Tarver open. Cedric catches it at the 30 into Pflugerville territory all the way down to the 22-yard line. He's had single coverage out there, and Cedric threw it up to him, and Cedric's just bigger and went and got it.
Yeah, it was the pass was a little bit short, and Tarver was able to out-jump Devontae Scott. Got away with a little bit of a push-off there, kind of shoved him off, and then was able to get his hands on the ball for a nice 3rd down conversion there for Bastrop.
So here's an empty backfield. Desmond Young sends a man in motion. Hands off to the Eddie Brown, who was the man in motion, and that is going to go for a tackle for a loss, probably of about 3 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 13. Ball is on the Pflugerville-Connally 25-yard line.
Bastrop's still having a lot of trouble getting the running game going. I think that's going to have to be something that is going to have to improve here if the Bastrop Bears are going to keep rolling here with this offense.
Here's a handoff to Eddie Brown on 2nd down. He surges forward, doesn't get much, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 3rd and 10, probably another passing down for the Bears.
Connally just collapsing the middle of the line there. Bears trying to probe and on the left side that time, right there behind the tackle, Mark Curry, the offensive lineman there, trying to run behind him, but Connally doing a good job of just shutting down the lanes.
Tyson Tarver checked in the game, number 15, first action we've seen from him tonight. And it is a keeper by Desmond Young, who is not going to get enough for the first down. It's going to be an interesting decision here for Coach Todd Patman if they're going to go for it or decide to kick the field goal. Looks like they are electing to go for it. It's going to be 4th and 10. Ball is on the 24-yard line. Actually, let's call it 4th and 9. And everybody is taking a knee right now. There's a man down for Bastrop. Looks like number 7, Alex Crouch, might be down. I have to check that number again. Actually, I take that back. That might be 72, Jacob Williams.
Yeah, Young deciding to go ahead and keep it that time. I think he probably want that one back, and probably would rather Tarver to give him a chance to get to the outside. Tyson Tarver, his first game back after serving a couple of games suspension for some stuff that went down in that scrimmage, so it's good to see him back. One of the better players for the Bears last year, both on offense and defense. So it appears to be Mark Curry there, the junior offensive lineman.
Okay, yep, number 74. That is being tended to, but he is up and coming off the field there with the help of the training staff.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he just might have rolled his ankle a little bit. He's putting weight on it, though, so that's always a good sign. And see Coach Gary Halliburton down there, the offensive line coach, having a few things to say to his offensive line. Probably telling them to fire off on those blocks a little more. Connally's defensive front four there, kind of controlling the line of scrimmage definitely as far as the run goes for the Bears.
All right, so decision time, and it looks like, oh, there's a flag on the play. I am not sure what that is. A flag came in. I am not sure. Coach Patman is talking to the line judge who threw the flag. I am not sure. It might be a sideline infraction on Bastrop.
That's what I'm thinking may have happened. They may be getting Coach Halliburton for Coach Halliburton was out there tending to his offensive lineman, Coach Curry, and they might not like the coach there coaching there.
Yep, so it is a sideline infraction was the call. I believe that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, which backs up the field goal unit, who is out on the field. Number 43, Carlos Martinez, the junior kicker for the Bears, is now going to have a 5-yard longer field goal attempt. He is looking like he is going to Okay, now they're moving them back to where they were. Wow, okay. So Bastrop is electing to kick here. Carlos Martinez is going to hit this at his own, or at the Connally 28-yard line, so it'll be a 38-yard field goal attempt. And we're awaiting the snap. Snap is down, the kick is up, and that kick is good.
Yeah.
38-yard field goal attempt. Very nice by Carlos Martinez. That puts Bastrop on the board for their first drive of the game. Got 3 points out of it. So with 9:04 to go in the first quarter, it is Bastrop 3, Cougars nothing. Kickoff by Bastrop coming up. You're listening to Bears football on KMAX Sports.
Bastrop Bears football on KMAX Sports is proudly sponsored by the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club, with the support of parents, volunteers, and great local businesses that take pride in their community, as well as help from great fans just like you. Your combined donations, contributions, and continued support help keep the Bear tradition alive. Find out more about the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club and what you can do at bastropbears.org. KMAX Sports is on Twitter. Get up-to-date scores and more on your computer and on the go with your smartphone. It's fast and easy. Just follow us at KMAX Sports.
Bears football on KMAX Sports. Bears 3, Cougars nothing after the Carlos Martinez field goal kick, a 38-yarder that just barely snuck through the uprights. And looks like Diego Cruz, the place kicker for the Bears, is out to kick it off. And Cruz puts his foot into it, and it is a very short kick that is fielded at the Connally 40-yard line. That ball carrier was hit quickly.
Yeah, it's a really short, kind of a almost looked like a little pooch kick. Tony Harrison received it, and pretty much as soon as he caught the ball, was just leveled by Tyron Smith there. And Bastrop defense will take the field. Good job that Smith was there, because if Harrison was in a spot where if he could have maybe just had a couple of extra yards, he'd be off to the races.
So here's Darius McGrew in a pistol package. A couple of receivers out to either side. Now calls one of the receivers into the backfield. McGrew hands it off to Connally, running back. I'm going to tell you right now, it's tough to read the numbers on these Connally uniforms. They're green, and it's a dark green, and the numbers are black. I believe that was number 7, possibly.
There's actually Demetrius Gardner there.
Okay, number 20, Demetrius Gardner. See, that's as close as I could come to reading that number. But here's McGrew, a couple running backs to either side of him in the backfield. McGrew keeps it, and he is bottled up pretty quickly. Number 44 for the Bastrop Bears, that was Simeon Thompson in on the tackle along with Zevon Burnett. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 now. Ball on the Connally 40-yard line.
Yeah, Thompson and Burnett were just there and just closed him down. So good job not giving him any time to find a receiver downfield.
Here's McGrew, takes the snap, and he is looking to pass. And he throws it out to the left side. The ball is caught, but that is not enough for the first down. That was caught by number 7, Stephen Crenshaw. But that is going to bring up 4th down, ball at the 45-yard line of Pflugerville, and their punt team is coming out on the field.
Kalen Hodge doing a really good job out there on the left corner. He was the pass was completed, but he was able to close down the runner. Runner tried to put a little bit of move on him, but he very wisely just shepherds him out of bounds.
Bastrop senior Alex Crouch is the only man back deep, and he's not that much deep. He's standing on his own 40-yard line. That's not much separation between him and the punter. And now he's dropping back, and it's kind of a rugby-style punt, but we've got stop in the action. You probably heard the whistle. Not sure what the flag is for, but I do see a flag on the field. See if we can tell. That's a false start, so that's going to be 4th and 10 now. Ball all the way back to the original line of scrimmage when this drive started, back to the 39-yard line.
Now the Bastrop Bears will go with Cedric Tarver dropping back deep. Crouch is going to set up in almost kind of like a free safety position, but Tarver is wanting to get his hands on this one and see if he can take back another special teams TD.
So Tarver standing on his own 30-yard line. Connally punter will hit this punt at his own 30-yard line. Oh, it's a bad snap. It's over his head, and he's scrambling for it. Tyron Smith is making his way towards him. Uh-oh, but they've got a block. Can they stop him? Oh, my goodness. Can they stop him? They can't. He's going to take it all the way to the house, Robert.
Wow.
30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
Wow.
So a punt that goes over the head of the Connally punter, number 5, Darius McGrew. So he's the quarterback as well.
Yeah, McGrew, it looked like a busted play, and Bastrop was able to close down in on him. McGrew just using his wheels, going left and then cutting against the grain of the field, was able to find the creases, and just like that, Connally is on the board.
But you know what, Robert? I see a flag on the play all the way back at the Connally 40-yard line, and this touchdown is not going to stand. They are walking it all the way back. So Bastrop just got very fortunate there that I'm guessing it was a block in the back on the punt return, or the scramble for yardage after the punt attempt went awry.
Yeah, whenever you see holes open up like that, that sometimes is the case, and so it looks like Connally, McGrew was able to run through that nice big hole because somebody got clipped.
All right, so now it is 4th and 17, ball all the way back at the Connally 32-yard line. Bears very fortunate there that that was a called-off touchdown by penalty.
Well, lesson learned, though. I would imagine they're going to respect McGrew's speed now.
So Alex Crouch now is the man back deep for Bastrop. It's a line drive punt. Crouch fields at his own 30. He's got a little running room up to the 35 before he is brought down at the 38-yard line of the Bears. So a decent return for Crouch, who just snagged that line drive punt off of one bounce and was able to get about 8 yards.
Terrence Oguanu able to bring him down. Crouch fielded that hop. I mean, it was almost kind of like fielded like a shortstop. The ball came just skidding in on him off that turf, and good job to field it. He had a little bit of traffic around him, so Coach Patman trading the speed of Tarver for the sure hands of Crouch.
So here's Desmond Young to lead the Bears offense. Eddie Brown by him. Eddie Brown's got some running room. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a keeper, and Desmond had some running room as well. Faked me again on the zone read there with Eddie Brown. Desmond Young picks up about 7 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 3. Ball's on the Bastrop 44-yard line. Actually, let's call it 2nd and 4 on the 44-yard line. And Eddie Brown is in the backfield with Desmond Young. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 receiver out to the right. This time it is a handoff to Eddie Brown, who gets close to the first down, but not quite enough for it. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Ball now on the Bastrop 46-yard line. It's going to be a long one that he needs, though.
Jeremy Clemens for Connally has been in on the last couple plays. He's kind of their all-everything linebacker tonight.
So here's Desmond Young in the shotgun. Hands it off to Eddie Brown, who's got enough for the first down. He's in Connally territory. He actually got a good surge there, brings it all the way down to the Connally 40-yard line, so easily enough for the first down. They're moving the chains, and will be 1st and 10 in Connally territory, ball on the 40-yard line.
Tough running by Brown there. Just keeps his legs moving and is able to pick up a nice extra chunk of yardage on that play.
3 receivers out to the left, 1 receiver out to the right. Desmond Young is rolling right, looking right, passing right, and that ball is caught, but there is a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. So right now the play would be about an 11-yard catch by Donovan Strong out to the right side, but we're going to have to see what the call is. I think it's going to go against the Bears, holding on the line of scrimmage. And it is. It's a holding call against the Bears, so that play will not stand. It was a nice little pass and catch by Desmond Young to Donovan Strong, but that is going to back the Bears up 10 yards all the way back into their own territory now.
Oh, nice little route there by Strong. Did a really good job to get there to the edge, and nice sharp route running there, but unfortunately one of the first kind of big holding penalties that we've seen this year for the Bears that have really kind of put this drive in jeopardy.
All right, so now we've got 1st and about 23, 10 yards from the spot of the foul is where that penalty was marked back to. So Desmond Young with Eddie Brown in the backfield with him. Desmond's back to pass. He's looking deep. He's going to the right side. He overthrows his intended receiver, but there is a flag on the play. It looks like it is probably going to be pass interference. Robert, who was the intended receiver there? Is that Hayden Jones?
That's actually Nathan Blair.
Okay, Nathan Blair was the intended receiver. That ball was thrown a little long, but Blair was held up a little bit, and that is going to be a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down for the Bears.
Yeah, Dion Govan just kind of draping himself all over Blair there, and that's an easy call for the refs to make.
So the ball is now moved up to the Connally 37-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 Bears. Eddie Brown in the backfield with Desmond Young, couple receivers out to either side. Referee holding play up for just a second while they reset the chains. And here we are, back ready for action. 1st and 10. Desmond throws it out, screen pass to the right side, and that is pushed out of bounds now. That was, I believe that was Tyson Tarver with his first reception of the season. He didn't quite get enough for the first down, I don't believe. I believe that's going to be 2nd and 3, ball on the 29-yard line. So good little screen pass there on first down to Tyson Tarver. Here's Desmond Young back to pass again. Looking in the middle of the field, this ball is broken up. Intended receiver was number 3, Cole Tidwell. Looks like Tidwell was bumped a little bit there on that route he was running, Robert.
Yeah, it's Devontae Scott and him just kind of tangling up a little bit, but Bastrop, kind of that new look offense that they've got going in with a slant play. It can be pretty effective when it works, but just a little bit too much contact in there for Tidwell to bring that one in.
All right, so now it's 3rd and 3, ball on the 29-yard line. Desmond Young takes the snap. He keeps it, but he has got no running room. He had a little zone read play with Eddie Brown that he kept, and he was actually pushed backwards. It's going to bring up 4th and long.
Dante Miller in on the tackle coming in from the secondary. Young trying to spin out of that one, trying to make something happen with it, but Connally really starting to key in on those zone reads. It looks to me like they're just assuming that Young is going to keep it for the majority of the time. So
Bastrop will go for it. Ball is on the Connally 35-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 9. Desmond Young rolls right, but that play is blown dead. I bet we have another false start. Yeah, and we do. It's a false start penalty on the Bears, so back them up another 5 yards. This gets to an interesting decision of to whether to go for it or maybe try a little pooch punt to pin Connally down into close to their own goal line.
Yeah, it looks
that's what it looks like what's going to happen.
Yeah, look, Pat, I'm going to go ahead and bring the punt crew out for this one. A little bit too, that 5 yards makes all the difference, really, and doesn't have to be a pretty punt, just effective. And I would imagine we're going to see the punter try to angle one here, pin these guys deep.
So here is kicker Carlos Martinez standing on his own 45-yard line where he'll hit this punt. Bastrop making some personnel shifts here with a couple men coming in for the punt team. And here's a snap back to Martinez. It's not a great snap, but he gets off a good punt. It's fielded at the Connally 15-yard line. Ball carrier still on his feet before he is still not brought down. Oh my goodness, is he going to get around the edge? He did. He's off to the races. The 30, the 20, the 10, they're not going to catch him. That is a touchdown. Unbelievable. I don't see any flags on this play. Wow, he was stopped 3 times before he bounced off all 3 of those tackles, would-be tacklers, and that is a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown.
Diamante Francois looked a lot like the busted play that we saw Darius McGrew go take it the length of the field, but again, at the beginning of that play, you saw 2 Bastrop defenders run into each other. That gave him the time that he needed to spring it to the outside and just kept going. Once he got to the outside, he was off to the races.
So just like that, is 6-3 with the extra point coming. McGrew is the holder, kicker for Connally. Puts it through the uprights. And that was number 17, Jose Marquez, place kicker for Connally. And so just like that, it is Connally 7, Bastrop 3 with 3:28 to go in the first quarter. You're listening to KMAX Sports on the Vype Media Network.
Purchase a copy of this or any KMAC broadcast for personal use, and portions of the proceeds go to your school. Whether you're making a highlight video or just want to be able to enjoy this game years in the future, send us a note to info@kmaxsports.com. That's info@kmaxsports.com. We can even do some editing for you for a small fee. Purchase any broadcast for personal use. Hit us up. info@kmaxsports.com. Bringing your teams and your highlights to you. We are KMAX Sports.
KMAX Sports is on Twitter. Get up-to-date scores and more on your computer and on the go with your smartphone. It's fast and easy. Just follow us at KMAX Sports.
K-Max Sports, 3:28 to go in the first quarter. Bears down 7-3 to the Connally Cougars after a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown for Connally. Connally set to kick the ball off, and it's kind of a short kick, going to be fielded at the 20-yard line by Tyson Tarver. Tyson turns up to the 30. He's got some running room to the 35, to the 40. One man to beat. He did a somersault over him, but that tackle was made. Ball's going to be placed at about the 45-yard line of the Bears. Let's see if the Bears offense can come back and get some points on the board after the unfortunate punt return that went awry for them.
Yeah, you almost wish Tyson was a hurdler, man, because the tackler went pretty low for him and took his legs out. If Tyson could have hurdled over him, he had nothing but real estate right in front of him, and he could have taken that one to the house.
All right, so here is Desmond Young back in the shotgun. Eddie Brown with him. Young keeps it, gets over to the right side. He's got some running room to the 50, into Connally territory, close to the first down. They're going to mark him out right at the first down marker. It's going to be really close. It looks like, yeah, they are going to move the chains. So they are in good shape there. 1st and 10, ball on the Connally 47-yard line. This time he hands it off to Brown. Brown had some running room off the left tackle, got about 5 yards. We'll see where they mark him. Going to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, and it's a bummer to be down 7-3. I think Bastrop's definitely had the run of play during the game. They look like the better team, so we'll see if the offense can punch one in here.
All right, so here's Desmond Young to Eddie Brown, who's looking for some running room anywhere he can find it, but he's going to be brought down after running east and west, and actually lost a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd, and let's call it 6. Ball on the Connally 44-yard line, 43-yard line.
Jeremy Clemens just grabbing a handful of jersey there and able to slow Brown down. Clemens was a guy that I remember calling his name quite a bit last year.
All right, so here's a big 3rd down play. Ball handed off to Eddie Brown. Not enough for the first down. Probably only got about a yard. It's going to bring up 4th down. And interesting decision here. Last time they punted it from around this same spot in the field. It was returned for a touchdown a few moments ago. And it looks to me like Coach Patman's going to go for it.
Yeah, it's a pretty bold call. He's got, I'll call it a long 4 here. Wanted Patman trying to keep this drive alive.
So it's a pass play. Desmond Young's looking out to the the left side. That pass is incomplete. Intended receiver is Cole Tidwell. Tidwell couldn't hang on to it, so that is a turnover on downs. Pflugerville Connally's offense coming out on the field with decent field position on their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, decent field position and all the momentum. The Connally offense has had a kind of a hard time getting rolling here, but I would imagine that Darius McGrew is looking for another opportunity to kind of start to get into a rhythm here with his receiver. Francois, the punt returner on that last Connally touchdown, is his go-to guy, and I'm expecting we'll be seeing him getting some looks here on this drive. So, McGrew takes a snap, hands it off up the middle. Runner's got some room. He's out to the 40, down to the 35, tries to cut it back inside, and takes it all the way down to the 30-yard line before being tackled by Kalen Hodge. That's the number 20 there, Demetrius Gardner, the sophomore running back for the Cougars. Connally's starting to flex some of their muscle here and show a little bit of the speed that we saw there in the pregame warm-up.
Yeah, it was a good run. Had a lot of running room out to the right side, so it is into Bastrop territory. Balls on the 30. McGrew in the shotgun with Demetrius Gardner. Sends a man in motion, and it's another handoff. Actually, it's a keeper by McGrew, and a really good play there by number 44, Simeon Thompson, coming off the edge to stop McGrew, who kept it, tried to get over on the left side, but could not get around Simeon Thompson. It's loss of about 2 yards, going to bring up 2nd and 12, ball on the Bastrop 32-yard line.
Yeah, great play there by Thompson. Like we spoke about in the pregame interview with Patman, man, the defensive ends have just been lights out this season in the first 2 games.
All right, so here's McGrew on 2nd and 12. McGrew's back to pass. He's under some pressure. He's rolling right now. Escaped some of that pressure. He's throwing deep into the Bastrop territory near the goal line. That ball is incomplete. Intended receiver is number 7, Stephen Crenshaw. Kind of short-hopped it to Crenshaw. Crenshaw was open, but that would have been a tough pass on the move by McGrew.
Zevin Burnett is just sitting there with his hands up saying, what is going on here? He was actually wrapped up by the blocker as he almost had a hand there on the quarterback. Burnett almost had a tackle there, but a clear hold that was just missed by the referee.
All right, so 3rd and 12, ball on the Bastrop 32-yard line. Here's McGrew, back to pass again. Throws it down the middle of the field. That ball is caught. 10-5, short of the touchdown, but that ball is going to be 1st and goal on the one. But there's flags all over the place, probably some taunting between number 4 who caught that pass. That was Bobby Hancock, the senior receiver for Connally, who caught it. But there is a flag after the catch. I think the catch is probably going to stand, but referees have to work out who personal foul penalty is on.
Bobby Hancock made contact with with Kalen Hodge there, hit him on the helmet, actually threw a punch and hit him on the helmet. I can't believe that I'm going to absolutely be floored if Hancock is not ejected from this game.
Let's see if we can pick up on the... Yeah, personal foul. Yeah, so that's going to be the 15-yard variety. So what would have been 1st and goal on the 1 is now going to be 1st and 10 back up to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, I just got to say I'm really he made contact with the helmet of Kalen Hodge. Hodge he's got his helmet on, so it's but it was a definite punch, and I don't know if it was a closed fist or whatever, but I'm pretty amazed that they are not ejecting this guy from the game here. We may have another call here.
Yeah. So that is going all the way back to the 16-yard line where it will be so Coach Patman is bringing his team over to the sideline for a timeout. We're going to break it real quick as well with 16 seconds to go before the end of the first quarter. It is Connally Cougars 7, Bastrop Bears 3. You're listening to Bears Football on KMAX Sports.
Bastrop Bears football on KMAX Sports is proudly sponsored by the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club with the support of parents, volunteers, and great local businesses that take pride in their community, as well as help from great fans just like you. Your combined donations, contributions, and continued support the Bear tradition alive. Find out more about the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club and what you can do at bastropbears.org.
Cougars 7, Bastrop Bears 3. And big pass play down to the goal line resulted in the Connally receiver, number 5. Sorry, not number 5, number 4, Bobby Hancock. Hitting one of the Bastrop players on the head with his helmet. That goes all the way back to the 16-yard line, so that makes it actually 1st and goal from the 16 now.
Yeah, Hancock lucky to not get ejected from this game, but his penalty is a costly one, as Connally was just knocking on the door there, and now they're going to have 1st and goal, but a lot further to go.
All right, so here is McGrew in the shotgun. Got a couple running backs with him in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver out to the right. McGrew sends one of his men in motion. It is a handoff to Gardner, and Gardner is brought down for a 1-yard loss.
Crouch coming in on a blitz there. Gets the initial hit on the running back there. Slows him up enough for the to get a little bit of help. And that is going to be the last play of the first quarter. So, here from the field up in Pflugerville, the Connally Cougars lead 7-3 over the Bastrop Bears. We'll take a quick break here and be back with the second quarter. You're listening to Bear Football on KMAX Sports.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008. And you can help adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, we all have at least one of those, you're needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
Bears 3. I thought earlier that it was going to be first and goal from the 16, but actually it's a fresh set of downs where they can still get a first down. So it's a first and 10 from the 16. The line to gain is the 6 for Connally, but it is second and 11 now. And actually the ball is placed on the 17-yard line. McGrew is in a pistol package, a couple receivers out to either side. McGrew back to pass under heavy pressure. It's a screen pass out to Gardner, who's at the 20 to the 10, who is then wrapped up right at the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3 right at the 10.
Yeah, the flow of the play, Bastrop just not getting there quick enough, and the quarterback able to get that ball off. McGrew doing a good job of staying cool under pressure, get that ball out to his swing man, and a nice little pickup of about 7 yards there.
So here's a big third down play in this game with McGrew having a couple running backs with him to his right. Sends a man in motion from the left, and that is a handoff to Gardner. I don't believe Gardner's got enough for the first down because he is brought down at the 9, so that's going to bring up 4th and 3. Ball on the 9-yard line. Clock moving with 11:09 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, huge down here. Definitely the biggest play of the game thus far here for the Bear defense.
But it looks like maybe the field goal unit, or is it a different personnel package?
Yeah.
No, it's the field goal unit. So that is number 17, Jose Marquez, senior kicker for Connally. This will be a 26-yard kick, and that ball is up, and that is good. Easily made that right down the middle. So Pflugerville 10, Bastrop Bears 3 with 10:31 to go in the second quarter. You are listening to Bears Football on KMAX Sports, a member of the Vype Media Network.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008. And you can help adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, we all have at least one of those, you're needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
After making a field goal, and no doubter, that went right through the uprights, about a 26-yard field goal attempt there. That was good by Connally senior kicker Jose Marquez. Marquez is now back out to handle kickoff duties for the Cougars. Back deep to receive this kick is, I believe that's Cedric Tarver, standing on about his own 7-yard line. And here's Marquez, puts his foot into it, and they are offsides on that kickoff attempt there. There were about 3 Connally players well past the 40-yard line before Marquez hit it, but alas, no call. Kickoff sails into the end zone harmlessly, and that's a big, strong kick for Marquez. Ball's going to be placed at the 25-yard line where the Bears offense will come back out on the field with a 7-point deficit.
Yeah, he's looking like a kicker that can hit stuff from all over the field. If this game is as close as the last 2 seasons' games have been, that could be a factor here as we go on.
All right, so here's the Bears offense. Looks like Tyson Tarver is the running back in the backfield with Desmond Young. Couple receivers out to either side. And Desmond Young looks to pass. It's a swing pass out to Tarver. Tarver's got it. He picks up about 4 yards before he is brought down. He just quick little screen pass out to Tarver out of the backfield. Decent first down play there. Going to bring up 2nd and 6 on the BASTROP 29-yard line.
Yeah, Ja'Day Brown there, the left corner for Connally. Nice open field tackle against Tarver.
So here's Young again. Young's going to keep it. Doesn't have much running room. Maybe got a couple yards. Going to bring up 3rd down. And let's call it 4. Ball's at the Connally 32-yard line. Or, sorry, the BASTROP 32-yard line. Actually, a little bit better spot than we thought. Let's go. It's going to be 3rd and 3 on the 32-yard line.
Need to keep this drive alive here.
So Desmond Young back to pass, looking in the middle of the field under heavy pressure, escapes some of that pursuit, rolls out to the right. Does not have enough for the first down, though. He is brought down at the 30-yard line, going to bring up 4th down. And Desmond Young lost his shoe back when he was scrambling there, so he runs back to get his shoe.
Jeremy Clemens laid a huge lick on Young. I thought Young was going to probably try to sidestep him there. And Young, for some reason, just lowered his shoulders and tried to go head-to-head with the linebacker there, Clemens. And I don't know if the coaching staff is really too pleased with that.
So here's Carlos Martinez on to punt. So it's a 3-and-out for the Bears. 2 men back deep to receive this punt. Oh, and it's a bad punt. Bad punt.
And it takes a bad bounce.
And it took a bad bounce. And, yeah, Connally just kind of stayed away from it. BASTROP couldn't do anything but go pick it up at about their own 37-yard line. So good field position here for the Connally Cougars, and not excellent punt there. Not an excellent punt.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely feel all the momentum has gone over to Connally here at this point. BASTROP for a good stretch of time there looked like by far the better team, but Connally now knocking on the door again.
So here's Connally with a 7-point lead. McGrew sends a man in motion, and McGrew is back to pass. He's in the pocket. He's got time. That ball is picked off. That's number 18, Roy Martinez, with an interception. Didn't get much on the return, but it doesn't matter. That's a turnover. Very fortunate there. McGrew threw it into double coverage. Roy Martinez just stepped right in front of the pass, picked it off, and got a couple yards from the interception return, and the ball is going to be on the 26-yard line of the Bears with a turnover.
Awesome interception there by Martinez. Just to step in front there, really read the play the entire way. It looked like a nice completion there on the part of McGrew, but Martinez averting disaster. Now let's see if the BASTROP offense can get this thing going.
All right, so scrambling is Desmond Young, and intended receiver far downfield was Tyson Tarver. He's tangled up with Connally defensive back, but no call, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Ball on the 27-yard line of BASTROP.
Yeah, trying to look for the home run there as Young to Tarver, but unfortunately a little bit of traffic there between the defensive back and the BASTROP receiver. So 2nd and 10. The offense kind of in a funk right now.
All right, so here's Young in the shotgun. A couple receivers off to either side. It's a fumble. Fumble the snap, and Young could do nothing but just pick it up and is brought down for a loss. It's going to bring up 3rd and long now. Ball all the way back to the Bastrop 24-yard line.
Yeah, Bastrop just looking looking like a zone read there again, and just kind of a miscommunication between Eddie Brown and Young, who was going to take the ball. Bastrop very, very lucky not to turn that ball over there deep in their own territory.
So 3rd and long, I'd look for Desmond to go back in the pocket and pass, and he does. He's looking down the left side of the field, and intended receiver was number 17, Cedric Tarver. That ball is almost intercepted, falls incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th and 14 back on the Bastrop 23. No choice but to bring the punt team back out.
Yeah, it was kind of a strange play there. Tarver looked to me like it looks like a potential mismatch. Looks like he might have like a full foot on the Connally defensive back Manny Jonathan there, and I'm surprised that Cedric Tarver didn't just kind of cut inside of him and try to go for that ball, but Connally just knocks it down. Another 3 and out.
All right, and here's the punt by Martinez, a much better punt this time, but still, it takes a bad bounce for Bastrop. Goes back into Bastrop territory all the way down to the Bastrop 35-yard line. So the net yardage on that punt was not very far. Took a bad bounce, and that's unfortunate for Bastrop. And Pflugerville is going to take over on the Bastrop 36-yard line.
Pflugerville certainly winning the field position game here as the game has gone on. It seems like we've been in the Bastrop end of the field for quite a while now.
So actually check that. It's going to be at the 34-yard line where Connally will take over. 1st and 10. McGrew with running backs to either side of him in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Passes out to the right, and that ball is dropped. Intended receiver is who is that intended receiver? I believe that was number 7, Stephen Crenshaw. Was some confusion there at the end of the play, possibly a backwards pass or a lateral that could be picked up and returned, but referees blew that play dead.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from the angle that we're at here, but the Bastrop coaching staff next to us are yelling, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. So that said, still Bastrop ball.
Connally ball.
Connally ball.
So 2nd and 10. McGrew back to pass, throws it out to the left side, caught, and that is not enough for the first down. That's number 7, Stephen Crenshaw, before he's wrapped up by a bevy of Bastrop tacklers who were out on that left side to bring down the ball carrier. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3, though, on the Bastrop 27-yard line. Clock moving with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Connally looking to add to their 7-point lead. McGrew looks over to the sideline before he snaps it. Looking over there again. Sends a man in motion now. And ball is handed off, and he is stopped. Ran it right into the middle of the Bastrop's defensive line, and about 4 tacklers were there to stop ball carrier number 20, Demetrius Gardner. And it's going to bring up 4th and 5, ball on the 29-yard line.
Yeah, interesting play calling there by the Cougars. McGrew looks like he's definitely getting into a rhythm. He's kind of got a hot hand. These little 5-yard passes, he's just eating up the Bastrop defense. Looks like they're going to go ahead and go for it, though.
All right, so 2 receivers out to the right, 1 receiver out to the left. McGrew looks to the right to pass. He's got a man open, but he drops it. 4th down play comes up empty for the Connally Cougars. Bastrop comes out on the field on offense, taking over on downs. So while it looked like Connally was on their way to putting more points on the board, that drive stalled for them on the 4th down attempt that saw a incomplete pass, and so here comes Desmond Young and the Bastrop offense.
Yeah, definitely kind of looking for Bastrop maybe to try to maybe get some of these intermediate level passes here, some of the 5-10 yard variety. It seems to be working good not only for Connally but for Bastrop as well, but definitely 1st and 10 here, deep in their own territory again. I think a big goal for this offensive drive is just to get back into Connally territory, get on the other side of the field.
So here's Desmond Young with Eddie Brown in the backfield with him. Desmond's back to pass, looking left. Man open, but incomplete. That was number 13, Actually, was it 13? Actually, that was Tyson Tarver, number 15, the intended receiver there. That ball is incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10, ball on the Bastrop 29-yard line.
Connally doing a good job stringing out the play that time and just staying with the receiver.
So possibly another passing down, and it is. Desmond Young back in the pocket to pass, looks downfield. That ball is not caught, but there is a flag down. That was number 22, Nathan Blair, the intended receiver. I believe they're going to get Connally on a pass interference call, so fortunate there for the Bears. Nathan Blair was kind of held up by the Connally defensive back, and so that's a new set of downs for the Bears.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's strange. You see two types of passes from Young. Sometimes he puts a beautiful spiral on it. The trajectory is really nice, pinpoint on the money. And then sometimes he throws these kind of short balls, and they always look like they're kind of in danger of getting picked off. So luckily for Blair that time, he got tangled up, and we got a fresh set of downs.
All right, so here's Young in the backfield. With him is Eddie Brown. Brown's to his right side, and it's a swing pass out to the left side of the field, and that's a first down. That was number 9, Romello Flores-Giles, the sometimes quarterback for the Bears, who caught that pass out on the left side, gets enough for the first down into Connally territory. The ball's going to be placed on the Connally 36-yard line. Bears looking to go fast here with their offense. And it's a snap back to Young. Young under pressure, rolling to his right. Eludes pressure, now just keeps it. Gets to the 30, takes a pretty good lick before he is brought down. Forward progress is going to get him to about the Connally 30-yard line. He picked up about 5 on that run. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 5.
Again, lowering his shoulder and trying to go head-to-head with the defender. It may catch up with you eventually. You got to be careful there, Young.
Couple receivers out to either side. Eddie Brown in the backfield with Desmond Young. Young takes the snap, hands it off to Eddie Brown. Eddie Brown gets – oh, actually, I take that back. Young kept that. He faked everybody out, went all the way around to the left side. Brown had gone right. Young kept it and went all the way around to the left side and picks up enough for the first down. The clock is stopped momentarily while the chains are reset. 4:58 to go in the first quarter. And now play is stopped for a man down. It looks like a Connally man that is down on the field here being attended to by the training staff. So with 4:58 to go before halftime, it's Connally Cougars 10, Bastrop Bears 3, but Bastrop is knocking on the door. New set of downs. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the Connally 23-yard line.
Yeah, Manny Johnson, the right corner there for Connally, staying at home that time. Like you said, John, he faked everybody out, including most of the Connally defense. Manny was just kind of hanging out there and looked like he was just going to try to maybe pick up the pieces on the run up the middle, but he ends up being the guy who kind of saves the touchdown, though. So nice run there by Young, though, and Bastrop is starting to move the chains.
All right, so a couple receivers out to either side. Desmond Young looks over to the sideline, now goes up to the line, gives some instructions to his offensive lineman, Eddie Brown, to his left at running back. Desmond Young looks to pass, swing pass out to the right to Cole Tidwell. Tidwell does not go anywhere with it. He catches it, but actually lost a couple yards. They tried to get Tidwell out in the slot, but he lost 3. So it's going to be 2nd and 13, ball on the 26-yard line of Connally.
Tidwell just didn't have anything to do. They were on him even before the ball really got there, so he just really couldn't get any kind of momentum, getting anything moving there.
All right, so here's Young back in the shotgun, same formation as the previous play. Young's scrambling back to pass, can only just try to go to the right side and elude the tacklers before he is brought down. He gets back close to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be about 3rd and 11, ball on the Connally 24-yard line now. And so a big third down play here on this drive for the Bears. 3:48 to go, clock moving in the second quarter.
Yeah, if you're Bastrop, you'd love to get a touchdown on this drive, even this thing up, and get some of that momentum that you've lost back.
So here's Desmond Young rolling left, looking to pass. He does pass. He's got a man open. Actually, that ball is dropped, though. That was intended receiver number 9, Romello Flores-Giles. It's kind of skipped off the carpet there. Flores-Giles could not scoop it up, and so it's going to bring up 4th and 11, ball on the 24-yard line. And it looks like Coach Patman's going to elect to go for it here.
Yeah, Giles doing a good job of selling it there and just kind of picking that ball up and turning towards the end zone as if he caught it, but definitely hit the turf before. We saw some of those black beads fly up out there.
Cole Tidwell and Donovan Strong to the right. Tyson Tarver and Flores-Giles to the left. Young's back to pass under heavy pressure, and he is brought down on that 4th down play. So that's going to be a turnover on downs. Young was under heavy pressure right off the get-go. Didn't really have a chance to do much with it. And the Connally offense is back on the field, deep back in their own territory. So at least from the field position perspective, the Bears were able to get some big chunks of yardage there, but were not able to put any points on the board on that drive.
Yeah, Connally secondary doing a really good job of keeping those receivers covered up, not giving time anything to develop, and Young is just, like I said, he's just running out of time back there, and Connally showing their athleticism, really doing a good job of closing down those receivers. So, unfortunately, Bastrop at least have a little bit better field position this time, though.
So here's McGrew. Back to pass. He fakes the pass and just keeps it. Kind of a busted play. He's brought down. Could only scramble and get about a yard. So not officially a sack, but McGrew was under heavy pressure by the Bears defense early on there, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 9 from the Connally 25-yard line. McGrew's hobbled a little bit, though, and everybody is taking a knee, and we've got a little break in action here. With 2:54 to go before halftime, Connally with a 7-point lead, 10-3 over the Bears.
Yeah, it looks like he might have a little cramp there. He's now going to take a seat there on the turf. You saw him try to pull his toe up there, and that usually is a pretty good indication of a cramp.
Yeah, so got a little lull in the action here. This game started out with the Bears looking like the more aggressive and the team that had the little upper hand there, and then that momentum shifted to Connally looking like the team who was playing much better, and now I would say it's back into Bastrop's hands with the momentum, but in high school football that can change very quickly on one play.
And it's like we were saying, they're talking with Coach Patman in the pregame show. The last 2 years, as you know, John, it's just gone back and forth. The Cougars winning, the home team in both cases winning. Connally won a couple of years ago, and Bastrop winning last year. The games have always been really exciting. Both of those games coming down to the last drives of the game to decide things. So so far the momentum seems to be almost like a boxing fight here. And then, it looks like McGrew is going to go ahead and come off, so we'll have a new quarterback now for the Cougars.
Okay. I cannot read the number from where we are right here. These numbers are tough to read on the field from where we are up in the press box. But new quarterback for Connally takes the snap. It's number 7, and Simeon Thompson came off the edge on the handoff there and threw his man down to the turf, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 12. Really good play there by Simeon Thompson off the edge.
Yeah, the ball going there to the running back, Demetrius Gardner, and Gardner's a pretty strong kid, man. Simeon had him wrapped up and shoved him back pretty good, and the kid managed to stay on his feet. So Crenshaw in at quarterback, and Connally looking to run on that first play.
3 receivers out to Crenshaw's right. Crenshaw bobbles the snap, and then he is brought down way back at the 15-yard line of Connally. He's going to bring up 4th and long. So good stop there by the Bears. Clock moving, 1:57 to go before the clock is now stopped. Connally actually takes the timeout there. Kind of surprising Connally would use a timeout in that instance.
Jacob Williams doing a really good job from an interior line position. getting around his man and able to take advantage of that kind of bobbled snap. So 4th down. Connally's going to try to punt this thing. It'll be interesting to see what kind of return the Bears set up here for it.
Actually, I think maybe they charging the Bears with that timeout. At least the scoreboard has 1 timeout left in the half for the Bears, 3 for the Cougars. So I believe that's Bastrop's 2nd timeout. Good call there to preserve some clock. 1:57 to go in the 2nd quarter. Bastrop looking to get the ball back here after a punt by Connally after we come out of this timeout.
Yeah, tonight's only points for both teams coming from special teams. The 90-yard punt return, and then 2 teams have traded field goals. So hopefully maybe let's see if Cedric Tarver can get his hands on this one, or Mr. Crouch.
Yeah,
and
looks like Alex Crouch is going to stand on his own 45-yard line to receive this punt. Sure would be nice if a Bear could get their hand on the punt here and get a block, speaking of special teams plays. And waiting on the snap back here. Here's the snap back to the Connally punter. And it's kind of a short kick. It bounces and did not get past midfield. So with 1:50 to go before halftime, that ball is going to be on the Connally 39-yard line. So great field position for the Bears to try to punch one in before the half. They've got 1 timeout to work with and 1:50 on the clock.
Yeah, it'd be great to get a touchdown here and go into this thing tied up, or if maybe Bears decide maybe to go for a 2-point conversion. I'm sure Coach Patman would kick it and to do the safe thing, especially with the field goal that we saw earlier from Carlos Martinez.
All right, so here is Desmond Young. Looks like Eddie Brown to his right in the backfield with him, and Young keeps it, goes out to the right, doesn't get enough for the first down. Actually, nowhere close to the first down. He only picks up about 2 yards, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 8.
And John, just like I said, Young lowered his shoulder again and tried to go through the defender as opposed to just kind of getting out of bounds, and he is down on the turf. He's hurt.
Yeah, we have got a stop in the play all the way on the near side of the field to us. Near the sideline is Desmond Young, who is being tended to by the training staff. Certainly hate to see that. Coach Patman's making that long walk all the way over from the Bears sideline over to our side of the field here near the Connally sideline.
Yeah, sometimes I hate it when I'm right, It's just, but that was about the 4th or 5th time we've just seen him on a run just lower his shoulders and really try to plow over the defender. As a quarterback and as a piece of the Bastrop offensive puzzle that's as important as Desmond Young is, it's a big gamble that you take whenever you do that. And these Connally guys are physical. They will lay some hits on you, and no doubt, without a doubt, that was a play that we were almost asking for. But so the sophomore quarterback, Romello Flores-Giles, will check into the game.
Yeah, so Desmond Young kind of hobbled off the field a little bit. Luckily, it didn't look like it was his shoulder. It looks like maybe it was more of a kind of hobbled on his leg when he ran off the field. Connally now is electing to take a timeout. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulty there a second ago. Heard a little blip there from the Google Hangouts back to our man Mitchell Padgett, who's our QA back in the KMAC studios, making sure our broadcast is doing what it should be doing. But I think we fixed the problem there and got the little ding off of the laptop here that we're using to broadcast on. So with 1:38 to go, clock stopped. Connally took a timeout. It's a 7-point lead. It's going to be 2nd and 8 with quarterback change for the Bears. Romello Flores-Giles coming in to spell Desmond Young. Desmond has to come out for at least a play. And hopefully we'll see more Young in the second half.
I'll tell you who we haven't seen is Jaquay Cretin. And I'm kind of, while we have some time here, I'm kind of scanning the sidelines to see even if he is in pads. I certainly didn't hear anything this week about him being injured or anything. As you know, he kind of sustained a little kind of a tweaked. I think he kind of tweaked a hamstring earlier in the year, and he has played the last 2 games. It was figured that he was back, and but he has not been in the game thus far. So we kind of got this game going kind of quick, and I didn't get a chance to do my keys for victory. But one of them was to establish the run. So let's see if the Bears can get something going here with 1:38 to go in the first half.
All right, so here's Romello Flores-Giles back to pass, and he's going deep. And that ball is almost intercepted. Not quite, but falls harmlessly to the turf, in and out of the hands of a Connally defensive player. Is going to bring up 3rd and 8, ball on the 37-yard line. Decent-looking pass there by Flores-Giles, but was not on target to his man. And big 3rd down with 1:33 to go, and the clock stopped before halftime. Couple receivers out to either side. Here's Giles passing again. Ball is caught by Cedric Tarver. He's got a first down, breaks a tackle all the way down to the 15-yard line before Cedric Tarver is brought down. Cedric comes up limping a little bit, and he's going off to the sidelines. And I can't tell who's checking in for him, but it is a first down for the Bears. Clock moving with 1:15 to go before halftime. Ball is on the Connally 15-yard line. New set of downs. Flores-Giles in at quarterback. And it's a pass play. Giles looking for the end zone. Ball is almost intercepted again, but falls to the ground. That was number 19, Caden Nichols, in the junior receiver for the Bears, who was the intended receiver. And we've got to stop in the clock here with 1:01.
Just in and out of the hands there of Devontae Scott. So Bastrop gets away with one there, and it almost looked like the Bastrop was going to turn that one over on a what was going to be a tough play.
All right, so here's the snap back to Giles. Rolling left, and incomplete pass to number 12, Donovan Strong, looking for the end zone, trying to go to the left pylon. Couldn't find him, though. Pass was wide. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 on the 15-yard line. Kind of surprised a little bit at how much passing they're doing with backup quarterback Flores-Giles, but it is clock winding down here before halftime. 57 seconds to go, 3rd and 10, ball on the 15. Flores-Giles in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking left to pass. Now he's scrambling a little bit, can only keep it, and is sacked for about a 1-yard loss. Be interesting to see if Patman's going to go for it here on 4th down, or if he is going to bring in the field goal unit. And I can't tell yet what his plan is here.
Looks like they're bringing in a 3rd quarterback. Looks like Peyton Parsons is in. Parsons.
Actually, no, it's the field goal unit. It's Carlos Martinez coming out. 12 seconds to go on the play clock. They got to get this off fast, or maybe use their last time out. Play clock down to 6, down to 5, down to 4, down to 3, and I think they're just going to take a timeout. They do. They take their last timeout right as the play clock winds down. The game clock is at 7 seconds, so if this is not the last play before halftime, it's probably the second to last play before halftime. But it's going to be a field goal attempt, looks like, with Carlos Martinez. The ball is on the Connally 16-yard line.
Yeah, Bastrop just trying to get as much time off that clock as possible to, let's just, assuming that Martinez puts this one through the uprights, then you definitely don't want to give that Connally offense any time. They've shown they've got some speed, and you certainly don't want to get in the track meet with those guys there, with them throwing a couple of bombs here at the end. So here we go.
All right, so Martinez is going to hit this field goal at his own 23, make that a 33-yard field goal attempt. 7 seconds to go before halftime. Here's a snap back. The hold is down. The kick is up, and that kick is off the left upright, no good. Wow, hit the left upright and then doinked over to the left. So Martinez just barely missed that. And that is it. That was the last play before halftime. So Connally Cougars take a 10-3 halftime lead over your Bastrop Bears. You are listening to Bears football on KMAX Sports.
Bastrop Bears football on KMAX Sports is proudly sponsored by the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club with the support of parents, volunteers, and great local businesses that take pride in their community, as well as help from great fans just like you. Your combined donations, contributions, and continued support help keep the Bear tradition alive. Find out more about the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club and what you can do at bastropbears.org.
Bears football on KMAX Sports. It is halftime, 10-3. Connally Cougars over the Bastrop Bears. Kind of a low-scoring affair. The Bastrop Band will be first to play here at halftime. We will take it down to our crowd mic and enjoy the sounds of the Bastrop Band for halftime. And we will be back later on in halftime with some of the local scores and some of the highlights from the action here at the field in Pflugerville. Bears football on KMAX Sports. So that was the Bastrop marching band you heard at halftime. This is now the Pflugerville Connally Cougar marching band coming out on the field while they are playing. Robert and I will recap a little bit of what happened in the first half. The scoring summary, not a lot of scoring happened in the first half, Robert, but why don't you tell us what did take place?
Well, John, it was kind of been not as many fireworks as we have seen the last 2 years. It was a game of special teams, basically. Bastrop Bears opened up the scoring with a 38-yard field goal by junior kicker Carlos Martinez. That was with 9 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the first quarter. Martinez puts through a really nice kick there, and it looked at that point Bastrop had put together a pretty nice drive, and it looked at that point like we were going to kind of have a little bit of the back and forth trading of scoring and touchdowns that we've seen in the last couple of years, and then things kind of slowed down a little bit. A busted play by Connally. It was Bastrop had Connally pinned pretty deep, and a snap over the head of their punter and also quarterback Darius McGrew, and McGrew able to make something out of nothing. Literally, was able to pick up the snap over his head, reverse the field of play. Comes way out to the left, and then cuts it way back into the right, and for just this really exciting, great touchdown run there. But alas, that play was called back for holding, clipping the back actually, so pushing the back, and the play comes all the way back, so got some breathing room there for the Bears. However, that would not last very long. On 2 possessions later, a 90-yard punt return by Diamante Francois, and that's with 3:28 to go in the first quarter. Jose Marquez was good for the conversion to put the Connally Cougars up 7-3. Francois' punt return really set off initially by 2 Bear defenders running into each other. He's able to find the crease on the left side, bounce it out, and take it down the left sideline for a 90-yard punt return. And the momentum then kind of swung to Connally. They got another drive kind of deep into Bastrop territory. Actually, a nice pass reception. By one of the Connally wide receivers there, but then a 26-yard field goal later on by Jose Marquez started up the second quarter after Connally gets this ball down on the 2-yard line, but is backed up by a personal foul by the Connally receiver Bobby Hancock. Hancock, surprisingly not ejected during the game, throws a punch and hits the helmet of the Bastrop player, but alas, he's allowed to stay in. But instead of Bastrop giving up a touchdown on that play, they end up giving up a field goal. And then with 7 seconds left in the half, Bastrop is able to get some momentum back and drive it down. Carlos Martinez unfortunately misses a field goal there as the clock was running out to start the second half, and then hooks it left a little bit, hits the wrong part of the upright, and bounces off to the left. And that's it for the scoring. So here at halftime, we are at 10-3, Connally with the lead, and you got to expect not quite the game that we expected, but you got to expect that probably in the second half the offensive coaches are going to go in and make some adjustments, and give it to the defense, though. Both defenses have looked really, really good. They've been shutting down drives. On both, I guess maybe the story of the game so far, John, is that both starting quarterbacks for Connally and Bastrop appear thus far to be out of the game with injuries. Both looking similar, kind of getting up and looking maybe like they rolled their ankle or something, kind of hobbling off the field. But both Connally and Bastrop are now to their backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, we saw Romello Flores-Giles come in for Bastrop to spell Desmond Young, who kind of got hobbled there late in the first half. Giles came up throwing. I don't know, must have thrown 4 pass attempts there towards the end of the first half. And then with McGrew going down, Connally went with Stephen Crenshaw, number 7, as their backup quarterback. I don't believe Crenshaw threw a pass, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Bastrop makes at halftime coming out for the second half. They've got to find a way to get the offense moving a little bit, punch one into the end zone, and like you mentioned, what we thought was going to be a high-scoring affair has not turned out to be that way. It's all special teams points on the board so far, in this 10-3 score for the Connally Cougars over the Bastrop Bears.
Yeah, without a doubt, too. I like you, John, I was surprised that Flores Giles threw 4 straight passes, and he's kind of more of the running of the 2 backup quarterbacks. We saw him bust that huge run off last week against Reagan, and really had some wheels. Bastrop on that final drive also going to the short side of the field on all their plays, and unfortunately the kick just was could have been 2 or 3 inches more to the right, and we'd be a 10-6 ball game. But it'd be interesting. We did not see the backup quarterback for Connally, Stephen Crenshaw. We did not see him throw the ball much, and I'd expect maybe it's kind of interesting. We were talking with Patman before the game about Connally throwing the ball as much as they do, and him saying that that's kind of their nature and that's kind of what they're going to go with. It'll be interesting to see if that plan changes in the second half, and both teams really, and see if they decide to go to the ground more. But like I said, the ground game is just not really up and running for either one of them. And Eddie Brown's had a couple of really nice runs, maybe of the 10-yard variety, but nobody able really to get anything going, any kind of momentum offensively. So you probably hear in the background, we are having a homecoming celebration here tonight at Connally.
Yep, so it looks like Connally is celebrating their homecoming kind of early in the football season, still in September. Robert, who's Bastrop's homecoming opponent this year?
Marble Falls. So
All
we'll
right.
be playing the Marble Falls Mustangs there for first time we're going to have seen the Marble Falls Mustangs, and it's just a team way out in West Austin, not even West Austin. I mean, I would just say maybe about 40, 45 miles west of Austin. So those guys are pretty far out there. But yeah, Marble Falls is it's going to be an interesting game to see those guys. It's not a team that we know a lot about. Just kind of checking the scoreboard here. As we said, Connally is up 10-3 over Bastrop here at the half. Cedar Park up 28-6 over San Angelo Central. That game is being played over at Gupton Stadium. Austin High up 14-7 over Lehman. That's a district game for both of those squads, I believe. Then Cedar Creek hanging tough with Fredericksburg with coming up on halftime there. Cedar Creek up 7-6 over Fredericksburg.
Wow, how about that? Low-scoring game there, but a tight one.
Yeah, definitely a surprise there. Cedar Creek hanging in there. Cedar Creek, unfortunately, they were up last week there against Aiken. They were in a really tight game and just kind of lost the momentum apparently after they had about a 2-hour lightning delay. So that was unfortunate for the Cedar Creek Eagles there, but hopefully they're looking to bounce back tonight against Fredericksburg. Pflugerville with a big win over the Elgin Wildcats. Elgin, the district foes, one of the oldest district foes for the Bastrop Bears, and Elgin looks like they might be having some defensive issues this year, which will be good as we got to make a road trip up there. Rouse wins big over Weiss. Weiss continuing to struggle. The new first-year varsity program, Rouse beats them 41-13, and Glenn gets a win over Austin McCallum, 30-26. Glenn, John, as I kind of mentioned, at the beginning of the year, I think that's a team that's going to be a little bit better than people are imagining. It's also a first-year program, so they don't have any seniors over there, and but that Leander kind of area, they produce a lot of good football players. So Glenn getting a big win over McCallum there.
Yeah, and I believe that's Glenn's first win as a varsity football program last night.
Indeed.
So they are 1-2. So what's been interesting about the District 13 5A Division II scoreboard is going into this week, the district is 5-11 overall. Bastrop being the only team that's 2-0. So district may be down a little bit this year, which for Bastrop's playoff purposes could be good news. But like you mentioned, we know there's going to be some tough games that Bastrop will face some tough opponents coming up in district play. We're on a bye next week, so no football for the Bears next week. But the week after that, we will be back here at the field in Pflugerville to play Pflugerville-Weiss for a district matchup here. That'll be a Thursday night game. That's Thursday, September 27th, also at 7 o'clock. We're kind of surprised a little bit about the start time of this game. Usually most start times of games are 7:30, but Pflugerville ISD has decided for games here at the field that 7 o'clock will be the start time, regardless of whether it is a Thursday night or a Friday night game. So the Bastrop Bears are out of the locker room. The clock before halftime shows 3:44 to go before we're going to kick off for the second half. They are continuing the halftime festivities and announcing the homecoming court for the Connally Cougars here, who are having their homecoming festivities this weekend.
Yeah, it's like you said, John. It's kind of early for a homecoming game, but it is what it is. Bastrop in a tough one here. I think this is going forward. Kind of looking as we head into district play. You definitely want to go into district play with a win. Be really nice to go in at 3-0, but this is a tough game. And I think this is a test. I'm sure Coach Patman this at halftime, has told these guys that these tight games, you got to keep it cool. You need to get out there and you need to execute. The Bears definitely, you get a win here tonight, you go 3-0, but you also get a win against what to me looks like a quality team. Connally, they certainly have had some issues with the offense on the offensive end of the ball tonight, but good athletes, fast guys. These guys run good routes, a good passing attack. In fact, I just saw the starting quarterback there, Darius McGrew, jogging on the sidelines. So it looks like we may be seeing him return in for the second half. We will have to wait and see what happens with Bastrop. Bastrop should receive this kick, I believe, to start the second half. So
I believe actually Bastrop got the kick at the beginning of the game. Robert, they Connally won the toss and deferred to the second half. So I believe Bastrop's going to be kicking to Connally to start the second half.
My bad.
That's all right. You know what? We've got about 2 minutes to go before they kick off. We're going to take a quick break here, get a couple messages in from some of our sponsors. The halftime score is Connally Cougars 10, Bastrop Bears 3, with the teams coming back out on the field to start the second half. We're going to break it here really quickly. We'll be right back with the beginning of the third quarter. You're listening to Bears Football on KMAX Sports.
Bastrop Bears football on KMAX Sports is proudly sponsored by the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club, with the support of parents, volunteers, and great local businesses that take pride in their community, as well as help from great fans just like you. Your combined donations, contributions, and continued support help keep the Bear tradition alive. Find out more about the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club and what you can do at bastropbears.org.
Purchase a copy of this or any KMAC broadcast for personal use, and portions of the proceeds go to your school. Whether you're making a highlight video or just want to be able to enjoy this game years in the future, send us a note to info@kmacsports.com. That's info@kmacsports.com. We can even do some editing for you for a small fee. Purchase any broadcast for personal use. Hit us up. info@kmacsports.com. Bringing your teams and your highlights to you. We are KMAC Sports.
Bastrop Bear football on KMAX Sports, getting ready to kick off the second half here. Bastrop trails Connally 10-3 in a low-scoring defensive affair. We were just looking on the sideline to see if we saw Desmond Young up and moving, and did not spot him there on the sideline at all, so not a good sign for the Bears, although Romello Giles Flores has shown he can put the ball in the air and run as well. So we see Giles Flores warming up on the sideline there. We may be seeing him in at quarterback, and so be interesting to see what we can do, what the sophomore quarterback can do here in the second half, if he can get this offense up and moving.
And actually looking through my binoculars, Robert, I do see Desmond Young. He has got his helmet off and is looking to me like he is not coming back in this ball game anytime soon.
Yeah, if you guys were out there listening to the first half, you probably heard me talking about Young lowering his shoulders a lot and kind of trying to run through defenders, and was finally caught up with him. So he may have tweaked something or just taken a pretty hard lick there. So we'll see. Looks like we'll probably be seeing the quarterback Romello Giles Flores here in the second half. So let's get it going, Mr. Flores. But first, we will have the defense. So up to kick it off is number 24. That's Diego Cruz. Cruz kicks a short one. It's a nice short hop, and it goes out of bounds there at the 25-yard line. And it looks like that will be where they spot it, right there on the 25. So Connally will start from their own 25-yard line. BASTROP wearing their gray helmets, gray pants, and white tops tonight. Connally, as you heard earlier, in a kind of a darker green with a black, which makes it pretty tough to pick up the numbers up here, but I think we're doing a pretty good job with it. And so, coming in at quarterback, as we mentioned, is the starting quarterback, Darius McGrew.
Yep, so it is McGrew. He is back in at the starting quarterback spot.
So McGrew, the junior quarterback for the Cougars, sends a man in motion. He's got one in the backfield with him, and he hands it off to him. Cuts back and forth there. I believe that was number 20 there, Demetrius Gardner. Trying to dance through the line there, but BASTROP closes the gap quickly and shuts the run down.
Greg Rivas there, the defensive tackle senior for the Bears, in on the stop. Also in on that stop was Robert Spurlock, the other defensive tackle.
All right, so McGrew with one in the backfield with him. He's got two receivers off to either side. McGrew takes the snap, looking to pass. He's got Francois. Francois makes a move, and he is out in the open field before he is brought down there. That's number 2, Kalen Hodge, finally brings him down, but not before Francois gets a first down.
Yeah, it was a good catch there in open field by Francois. He was able to skirt his way through for a first down.
Francois, the only touchdown scorer tonight, taking back that 90-yard punt return in the first half. Looks like might have been a flag on the play. Let's see what the referee says.
Yeah, it's going against the Bears. I think it's a personal foul. Yeah, so that ball is going to go into Bears territory. Not what you want to see after a big pass play, to have another 15 yards tacked onto that.
Yeah, not really sure what happened there. Maybe some words were said or what, but now Connally, after a couple plays, in big business here on the Bear, call it 44-yard line. McGrew hands it off. Actually, he passes it. He's got a man open on a screen pass. That is Francois again, I believe. See if we can get a read on that.
Faison Madison came up from his defensive back position to put a really good lick on the receiver for Connally. Still got a 4-yard gain, though.
Yeah, that was actually Stephen Crenshaw, the backup quarterback who was out there in receiver. So McGrew with 2nd and 6 to work with here on the BASTROP 41-yard line. 2 receivers out to his right, 2 in the backfield with him. Sends a man in motion. That's Francois. Takes a snap and hands it off to his running back, who charges forward for a nice, call it 6-yard gain. Gardner with some tough running there. Going to bring up 3rd and about 1 here for the Cougars.
Yeah, that 15-yard penalty still, I'd go back to that. That's a big part of this drive so far.
All right, so McGrew with 2 in the backfield with him. He's got 2 receivers out to his left, 1 down to the right. Francois in motion. Hand off to Gardner. Gardner bounces it outside. He's got some room, cuts it up again. He's got the first down and a couple yards more. Tackle on the play there by number 54. That's Greg Rivas.
Simeon Thompson in 44 for the Bears on that one as well, but not before the Cougars could get a first down.
So McGrew kind of showing a little bit of limp there as he walks up. Two in the backfield with him. Same formation that we've seen here. Two receivers to his right, one at the left. Takes a snap. Quick pass out. He's got Francois again, and he's back in the open field. They had him wrapped up there, John.
Yeah, but he was able to squirt free of that tackle and get around to the left side, up the left sideline, and it's going to be close to a first down.
Yeah, Francois is kind of McGrew's go-to guy. He's the recipient of the leading pass catcher for the Cougars this year. Now he's starting to come alive, and they're starting to find him.
So I believe it's going to be 2nd and 2. Looks like the chain gang is having a little trouble with their equipment over there on the far sideline. The referees kind of holding up action here for a second to let them fix their issues over there.
Yeah, the Francois was tackled out of bounds there, and it looks like he kind of plowed over there the yard marker. So McGrew has got two receivers out to either side. Demetrius Gardner in the backfield with him. Takes a snap. He's looking right. He's under pressure, and he is sacked.
Big sack. Number 34, Tyron Smith, came in quick, and that was a big sack there of Smith on quarterback McGrew.
Tyron Smith, a guy that we was just all over the place in that first game, and kind of had a quieter game last week against Reagan, and we haven't really called him to name much tonight, but he certainly comes up when they need it there. Big stack to bring up 3rd and now 11 for the Connally Cougars. McGrew takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He's got a man in the middle, wide open.
Oh no!
And that's a touchdown.
No, they're calling him down on the 1. It's really close to a touchdown. If they had instant replay, it might be in for a touchdown, but the back judge came in, called him down on the 1 yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 1 for Connally.
Yeah, so Bobby Hancock on the reception there just got behind. It was kind of like a weak side route that he ran there, and Kalen Hodge able to bring him down at the last second, but not before Connally is now in all business here deep in Bastrop territory. So McGrew takes a snap, hands it off to his running back, and Gardner is in for the touchdown. Hits the right pylon there, pulls the ball out to make sure he gets it in, and like that, on the first drive of the second half, Connally is up 16-3 now with the extra point ensuing.
Yeah, and it's a little bit worrisome that Bastrop's offense hadn't been able to do much with starting quarterback Desmond Young, and now that Young's out, we're going to get a chance to see if Romello Flores-Giles can put together some drives for the Bears.
All right, so here we go. Extra point attempt on the way. And Marquez puts it up, and it is good. So with 8:01 to go here in the third quarter, Connally takes a 17-3 lead. You're listening to Bear Football on KMAX Sports.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008, and you can help. Adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, and we all have at least one of those, you are needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
Bastrop Bears football, KMAX Sports here. 8:01 to go in the third quarter. Bastrop giving up an opening second half drive there. Bastrop scoring a big sack there, but then the starting quarterback, the returning starting quarterback here, Darius McGrew, comes back in, completes a huge pass to Bobby Hancock, takes it all the way down to the 1, and on the next play, Demetrius Gardner hits the corner of the end zone on a 1-yard run to make our score what it is currently 17-3.
All right, so it'll be interesting to see if the Bears offense can answer. Back deep to receive this kick is Cole Tidwell standing on his own 10-yard line.
All right, so Marquez tees it up. Connally offside again, but not getting called on it. Tyson Tarver catches it on his own 22. He's trying to get out to the right. Still on his feet, and he is going to finally be brought down there. The Connally kickoff team is about, like you said, John, they're about 2 or 3 yards offside on these kickoffs to allow them to really close that down, and really kind of something that doesn't really allow our kickoff return guys to get any momentum there.
Yeah, it's at least the third time tonight that I've noticed it, and the line judge has not noticed it yet.
All right, so we've got a Connally player down here. I'm trying to get a read on the number.
I can't see it either.
The UIL following NCAA rules and affecting trying to make these kickoffs a lot safer. As you know, certainly a ton of injuries happening on these kickoffs. There's been some discussion in recent years of just eliminating the kickoff entirely. So a good example there, just bodies coming downfield at full speed.
Luckily, the Connally man is coming off on his own power. That is number 26, Torrey Harrison. He is a junior defensive back playing some special teams action here, and he looks like he's going to be okay.
All right, so Bastrop offense will take the field for the first time in the second half. Romello Flores-Giles, the sophomore quarterback, in for the Bears. He's joined in the backfield by junior running back Eddie Brown. Giles with 2 receivers up to his right and 1 down. Cole Tidwell in single-man coverage down on his left. Snap to Giles, hands off to Brown. Brown cutting back forward, charging ahead. Nice pickup there by the junior running back Eddie Brown. Picks up a good 9 yards.
Good run there by Eddie Brown. That might be his longest run of the night. That was a good play there, good first down run.
Bear defense trying to get some momentum going here. Definitely need a good sustained drive. Would like to see a score to keep the Bears in this one. So Flores-Giles with Brown in the backfield with him. Hand off to Brown. Brown charges forward and picks up the first down. Still on his feet, moving the pile forward. And picks up the first down, plus about 3 or 4 more yards there. So some good hard running there by Eddie Brown. And the chains will be moved.
Yep, good back-to-back runs by Brown. Maybe that's a omen of good signs to come for the Bastrop running game.
So Romello Flores-Giles looks at the sideline for the call. Damian Piper now in the backfield as well. Nathan Blair, the junior receiver, checks into the game. Giles with Brown in the backfield with him. Hands it off to Brown. Brown, nothing that time. Runs into a trio of Connally defenders and is pushed back there.
Yeah, I think they're going to give him some forward progress of about 1 yard, but not much more than that. Going to bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, just ran smack into Dominic Howard there. So 2nd and 9 here for the Bears. 6:15 to go here in the third quarter. Romello Flores-Giles, the sophomore quarterback, the backup, in for the Bears. Giles takes a snap. He hands it off to Brown again. Brown charges forward. He's got some room to the 40. Now to midfield, to the 45, to the 40, and plows over a defender there. Eddie Brown down to the 35-yard line for Bastrop.
Wow, great run by Eddie Brown. He hit the hole fast. He got into the second level of the Connally defense really quickly and was off to the races. Fortunately for Connally, they forced him out of bounds, but a great run for Eddie Brown.
Yeah, so Romello Flores-Giles here. And Eddie Brown making it happen for the Bears. Handoff again to Brown. This time, nothing happening there as he is tackled maybe for about a 1 yard loss, depending on where they spot it.
Yeah, it looks like they're spotting it right at the line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Every play so far this half for the Bears offense has been a handoff to Eddie Brown.
Yeah, surprisingly, I haven't seen Romello Flores-Giles with the run of his own yet. The sophomore quarterback does have some wheels on him.
That said, Brown checks out, and that's going to be a false start.
Yeah, it looks like Giles is sending a man in motion there. A little bit of confusion there on the offensive line. We had 2 guys move, and except we have a false start, so that'll be coming back 5. It's going to now bring up 2nd and 15.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Personnel change. I mentioned Eddie Brown comes off. Tyron Smith, the mainly linebacker, defensive player for the Bears, is in at running back right now, along with Flores-Giles in the backfield.
So Flores-Giles with Tyron Smith in the backfield with him. Hands it off to Smith. Smith looking for some running room there. Still on his feet. Wow, that was a head-to-head hit there.
Number 8 for the Connally Cougars, Jahaid Barron, comes up from the secondary spot and really lays a pretty good lick on Tyron Smith, who's now coming out of the game. So thanks a lot, Coach, is what Smith is saying as he's running back to the sideline. Give me 1 carry and get me knocked around.
Yeah, Smith just really the play just not really developing and not able to find a hole there. And Brown's going to check back in. Giles now under pressure, takes a snap, and he is brought down. Once again, you saw the Connally defenders, the defensive backs, had just everything covered up back there.
That was number 38, Jeremy Clemens, the senior linebacker for Connally, in heavy pursuit. Flores-Giles brings him down. It's going to bring up 4th and long.
So on 4th and 17, it looks like the Bastrop Bears are going to go ahead and punt this thing. The whole punt crew is coming in.
Punt's been an issue tonight for the Bears, Robert. Carlos Martinez in at the punter position, taking care of punting duties tonight. He's gotten off a couple good ones, but has also gotten off a couple not-so-great ones.
So back deep to receive for the Cougars is going to be Jade Barron.
And we've got to stop in the action.
There's a flag on the play.
Delay a game.
Well, it's kind of, it's interesting, John. The Bears have been very, very disciplined all year. They really did a good job of eliminating the penalties and really kind of keeping their focus. Tonight has, thus far, at least in the second half, been a different story. So the punt is away. Off the side of the foot there and goes out of bounds at, call it the Connally 31-yard line, and that's where they'll start. So with 2:49 to go here in the third quarter, Pflugerville Connally Cougars lead the Bastrop Bears 17-3. You're listening to Bear Football on KMAX Sports.
KMAX Sports is on Twitter. Get up-to-date scores and more on your computer and on the go with your smartphone. It's fast and easy. Just follow us at KMAX Sports. Bastrop Bears football on KMAX Sports is proudly sponsored by the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club with the support of parents, volunteers, and great local businesses that take pride in their community, as well as help from great fans just like you. Your combined donations, contributions, and continued support help keep the Bear tradition alive. Find out more about the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club and what you can do at bastropbears.org.
Connally Cougars going fast here. Darius McGrew with a quick pass out to Stephen Crenshaw, and he picks up a quick first down there. So 14-yard pass play there from McGrew to Crenshaw. McGrew with one backfield runner with him. 3 receivers down to the right, 1 off to the left. Big wide splits by the Connally offensive line. McGrew takes a snap. Looking right, he's got Diamante Francois, and Francois is almost off to the races before Tyron Smith brings him down from behind. Good job Smith was there because, as you know, Francois, once he gets going, can really put the wheels on.
Yeah, good, possibly touchdown-saving tackle by Tyron Smith.
So it's going to be 2nd and 2. Darius McGrew, junior quarterback here for Connally Cougars. Snap to McGrew. Hands it off to his running back. Bounces it outside. He's got some space to the 40, to the 37, down to the 37-yard line of the Bastrop Bears. That ball carrier, number 20, Demetrius Gardner.
Gardner really showed some good swivel there. After he hit the hole, he bounced it out to the left and picked up the first down.
Bastrop needed to get a stop here to stay in this one. Down 17-3.
Yeah.
With 1:15 to go here in the third quarter.
And the story for the Bears for the rest of this game is going to be the offense and whether or not they're going to be able to put some points on the board.
All right, so McGrew operating out of the pistol. He's got a man open. Ball is caught and brought down. That was number 4, Bobby Hancock. Kalen Hodge there on the tackle from his left corner position.
Good play by Hodge. He read that little swing pass out to the right side pretty well. Came up and kept the Cougars from getting too much of a gain on that. Only picked up a couple yards.
All right, so Connally looking to the sideline for the play. McGrew still hobbling a little, but not having to do much running as his line's giving him plenty of time here tonight, John. McGrew takes a snap, hands it off to Gardner. Gardner dices and slices through the offensive line there. There's a flag on the
fumble. I think it's a fumble as well. Not sure who recovered it, and there's no sign yet from the umpire who's going in to manage the pile. And it looks like Connally's going to come up with it.
I think we might get a hold here out at the receiver position on Bobby Womack. Excuse me.
It's actually offsides.
Bobby Hancock.
Offsides on the Bears is the call. Wow. So that was not something the Bears needed there.
Flag came pretty close to us here on the west end of the field. Referee's discussing it down there. 16 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Referees are still talking about it and coming back out to make the call. Yeah, it's an offsides. And that penalty is declined by Connally. Guess they figure they got enough yards there on that second down play to bring up 3rd and short, so they declined the penalty. We've been checking the weather. There are still storms all around us, but we've managed to stay dry here in Pflugerville tonight. The radar shows that there's storms all in the area, but we've managed to stay out of the way of them, knock on wood.
Yeah, definitely. There's another big cell that's moving up here, but it looks like it might be about an hour and a half away. So we're definitely going to get some rain here tonight, but hopefully we'll be able to get through this game here without any sort of delays. So here we go. 2nd and 1 here for the Cougars on the Bastrop 29-yard line. This might be the last play of the third quarter.
Yeah, this quarter went by fast. Not a lot of pass plays, a lot of running plays, and it's been a quick quarter.
So Darius McGrew, junior quarterback for the Cougars. He's got 2 in the backfield with him this time. Got 2 receivers down.
They're still having issues figuring out where they're going to put this ball and if they're going to take the penalty or not take the penalty. All I really can say for sure is that it was a 5-yard penalty for offsides on the Bears. And I can't figure out what is going on. It looked like it was going to be 3rd and 1, and then they backed it up to where the original line of scrimmage was before that play started. And now the referee is talking with his line judge, or his head linesman, who is now going over to talk to Coach Patman. And while they sort that out, we've just got a lull in action here with 16 seconds to go in the third quarter. Bears got to find a way when they get the ball back to get the ball moving on offense. They haven't been able to do it all night, really. Okay, now they're moving it back up to where we thought it was going to be, which is on the 29-yard line of the Bears for a 3rd and 1 play. So looks like that penalty was accepted by Connally.
All right, so 31 here for Connally. McGrew looks like he's going to have 3 receivers down to his right. McGrew looking to the Bears defensive coaches.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's just a lot of confusion going on for the referees still. The referee's still talking about what they're going to do. They still haven't really figured it all out yet.
Give you updated score here real quick. I see now Fredericksburg is now up 19-10 over Cedar Creek. That game is at the half, so Cedar Creek hanging tough with Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg, a very good program. And here we go. Now we're going to get a playoff, it looks like. So it is now 2nd and 1.
I mean, they're still not at a point where they're going to snap the ball anytime soon. Okay, now I get it. They just let the clock run down to end the second quarter. So I think what happened is they took the penalty, so it was still 2nd down. It's 2nd and 1 instead of 3rd and 1. The chains on the far end, the guy running the downs signal has switched it back and forth between 2nd and 3rd down about 3 times now. But that's the end of the third quarter. We'll just keep it here with all that confusion there. Teams will switch sides. Connally will have the ball 2nd and 1 on the Bastrop 29-yard line, this time moving away from us from right to left.
Yeah, without a doubt here, Bastrop really needs to get a stop and kind of stop the hemorrhaging here in the second half and get this offense back on the field. And offense actually getting some nice movement there on the ground. Romello Giles Flores in again at quarterback for the apparently injured Desmond Young. And Bastrop is going to have a quarter here to try to put a couple touchdowns on the board, get back into this thing.
Yeah, so after all that, they just let the clock expire, and here we go for the beginning of the fourth quarter. Notice quite a few games closer to the Houston area were just canceled for tonight. Brenham was playing Houston Heights on the road in Houston, and they just canceled that game. Looks like also Marble Falls against Geronimo Navarro. I'm not even really sure where Navarro is, but that game's canceled as well.
It's down there by San Marcos.
Okay. Actually, maybe that game's going to get started now. It says first quarter with on the scoreboard there. All right, so we are back after a lull in the action. Been several minutes since a football was snapped now in this game.
So Darius McGrew, the junior quarterback for the Connally Cougars, looking at second, kind of a short 2 here, what it looks like now, to start the fourth quarter. Connally again choosing to go with 2 running backs in the backfield. Play clock is not coming down here. Here we go. So McGrew puts a man in motion, takes a snap, and hands the ball off to his running back. He bounces outside. He's got some space there to the 20. Excuse me, ball carrier run out of bounds there at the 23-yard line.
Zevon Burnett kind of drove him out of bounds, but not before the first down. Had him bottled up in the backfield, but he bounced out and got to the right side. There's Gardner being pretty shifty again. Good runner there tonight for the Cougars.
Yeah, Gardner really showing his strength there, just kind of bouncing off a would-be tackler and bouncing it to the outside. And Cougars now on the Bastrop 24-yard line. McGrew in at quarterback with Gardner in the backfield with him, and that play is blown dead. So we're going to probably have a false start here.
Yeah, I would think we're going to have a false start, which is fortunate for the Bears, and that is it's a false start penalty on the Cougars. So back them up 5 yards. That's fortunate for the Bears. Going to bring up 1st and 15.
So here, start of the fourth quarter. Connally Cougars leading 17-3. Ball is on the 29-yard line of Bastrop now. Bastrop on the road for the first time this year. So McGrew receiving a play run in, puts a man in motion, and he is smashed there. As soon as the ball is snapped there, that's Diego Cruz coming through on a blitz and just read that the whole way. And
actually, I think that might have been Tyron Smith. Maybe not. I can't tell. Who came in there?
Yeah, you're right, John. It was that was Tyron Smith there coming through on a linebacker blitz there, and just goes right through the offensive line for a big sack here. But it looks like the referees are.
Oh, they're calling him for offsides. They got him for offsides. Wow. Yeah, so he had the snap count that he was trying to time, and thought after all night of hearing it, he would take a shot there and try to get into the backfield, which he did, but Tyron Smith called for the penalty.
All right, so McGrew with Gardner in the backfield with him. Conley's going to get a free play here. McGrew looks. He's got a man open. Ball is bobbled. There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, it's going to be offsides, but it also is potentially going to be a pass interference call on a flag that came in way late after that ball was knocked down by the Bastrop defense. It's going to be unfortunate if that's pass interference, because that's a 15-yard penalty. The offsides call is only a 5-yard penalty.
Kalen Hodge and
yep. Oh. Wow, so offsetting penalties. Pass interference call of the flag that came in late was against the Cougars. An offensive pass interference call. That's what the flag was for down near the goal line. So all that to be said, it's 1st and 10 on the 24.
Faison Madison in there with Kalen Hodge to break that one up. So 1st and 10 on the 24. McGrew takes a snap. He's got a man on a jet sweep. That is Francois there trying to get to the edge, but not before he is brought down.
Another flag on the play. I'm not sure if it's a holding call, but it's right at the line of scrimmage by the linesman. It's also, I see it on the other side of the field for the head linesman.
Logan Gasky getting in on the tackle there, shutting that play down before it had any chance of getting momentum going. But
wow, I don't think we've had a clean play here yet in the fourth quarter. I didn't see the call, but it's a 5-yard penalty, so I assume maybe it's another offsides penalty against the Bears.
All right, so 1st and 5 here. 11 minutes to go in the contest. Bastrop trailing 17-3 against Connally. Darius McGrew, quarterback for the Cougars, sends Francois in motion. Hands the ball off to Gardner. Gardner skips out of one tackle, around another one. He's got some space to run. Cuts it up the middle for about, call it a 4-yard pickup there, just really close to the first down chain.
Simeon Thompson in on the tackle for Bastrop, but not before about an 8-yard gain on the run.
All right, so second, about 2, a long 2. Darius McGrew, ready to receive the snap, puts a man in motion. Hands it off to Gardner. Gardner bounces it outside again. He's got the first down and more before he's run out of bounds. Gardner on a play that we've seen, very, very similar play that we've seen, running up into the line and then quickly bouncing it outside to try to make the turn. Picks up a nice chunk of yardage there. It's going to give the Cougars first down on the 13-yard line. So they do have a chance to get a first down here without scoring.
You know, it just kind of feels like if Connally scores here, that could be the nail in the coffin for the Bastrop Bears tonight, with only 10 minutes left to play and the Bears offense kind of sputtering all evening.
All right, so McGrew has got one in the backfield with him, 2 receivers off to either side.
Wow, more flags.
Another flag in on the play.
But the Bears call timeout. Not sure if I guess they got the timeout called before flag was of consequence to them. So we're going to break it here for just 1 second on this timeout. The score is Connally Cougars 17, Bastrop Bears 3. You're listening to Bears football on KMAX Sports, a member of the Vype Media Network.
Bastrop Bears football on KMAX Sports is proudly sponsored by the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club with the support of parents, volunteers, and great local businesses that take pride in their community, as well as help from great fans just like you. Your combined donations, contributions, and continued support help keep the Bear tradition alive. Find out more about the Bastrop Bears Touchdown Club and what you can do at bastropbears.org.
Bastrop Bear football on KMAX Sports. 10:05 to go here in the contest. Connally with a 1st and 10 on the Bear 13-yard line. Sorry for the crowd mic there. We can't always control what the good people in the crowd are saying. So, McGrew in at quarterback, puts a man in motion. He's looking to pass. He's under pressure. He's got a man and looking for Francois there.
Threw it behind him, though.
Diamante Francois, the intended receiver, and the touchdown score on the 90-yard punt return earlier.
So the Bears need to come up with a stop here to keep this game manageable. Keep Connally off the scoreboard.
2nd down. Ball on the 13-yard line. Exactly 10 minutes to go here in the contest. McGrew with Gardner in the backfield with him. 3 receivers down to the left, 1 up to the right. Takes the snap. He's under pressure. Moving his feet. He's got a man open, and he hits him. That is touchdown Connally.
Yep, that looked like number 7, Stephen Crenshaw.
Yeah, Stephen Crenshaw just able to work his way back to the ball there. McGrew buying some time there, getting wheeling out and getting away from the erstwhile attempted sack by Zevin Burnett. Buying some time with his feet and finds his backup quarterback there for the touchdown. Extra point ensuing. Flag on the play. So that's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Bastrop Bears. Not sure what happened there after the play, but keeping with the tradition here in the 4th quarter, flags are flying. Marquez here to attempt the extra point. The snap is back, ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 9:50 to go in the contest, Connally Cougars take a commanding 24-3 lead over Bastrop. You're listening to Bastrop Bear Football on KMAX Sports.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008. And you can help adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, and we all have at least one of those, you're needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
KMAX Sports is on Twitter. Get up-to-date scores and more on your computer and on the go with your smartphone. It's fast and easy. Just follow us at KMAX Sports.
Tonight has just been more or less an anemic offense. Desmond Young going out with an injury here in the first half. Romello Giles Flores coming in to take over. Him and Eddie Brown getting the ball moving a little bit, but Bears not able to turn that to any points into any points yet. Bastrop will now be assessed the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty here on the kickoff. So Connally will be kicking from the Bear 45-yard line. I would be watching out for an onside kick, personally, if I were them.
Yep, good time to do it if you're Connally. The 24-3 lead and kicking off from the kicking off from the Bears' 45-yard line.
So Marquez here to kick it. He'll just go ahead and boot this one deep and out the back of the end zone.
So the Bears offense is going to have to get the ball moving and try to salvage at least some positivity out of this game with 9:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Not an offensive touchdown yet tonight for the Bears.
Yeah, Bears seem to be missing some key pieces. Not only is Young out, we haven't seen Jaquay Cretin at all. Not sure what the story is with that, but we haven't even spotted him on the sidelines. So not sure if that's an injury, a suspension, or what, but the returning senior all-district running back out. That said, Eddie Brown's been doing his fair share of carrying the load here for the offense. So Giles takes a snap. He's got a receiver open. Pass is complete out there to number 22, Nathan Blair.
The other guy we haven't called the name of yet tonight is Hanan Jones. Wonder if he's got a little lingering injury as well.
Yes, John. I actually saw him before the game, and he wasn't even suited up, so he's out as well tonight. So some of the big pieces here for the Bear offense missing tonight, but just about time for these younger guys to step up and see if we can get something going here. Clock continuing to go down. Giles takes a snap. He's looking to pass. Finds a man open, and the pass is complete. Nice pass there by Romello Flores Giles.
That was Nathan Blair, Jordan Blair. Sorry, no.
You're right.
Was it?
Yeah, Nathan Blair.
Blair. Right.
Yeah.
With the catch there. So 2 complete passes in a row from Flores Giles.
So 3rd and call it 4 here. Giles takes a snap. Quick throw out to Blair. Blair catches it, but he had a knee down. I'm not sure where they're going to mark him there. Connally quickly closes down on the Bear receiver.
Yep, that's going to bring up 4th down, and it looks like the Bears are just going to go for it deep in their own territory. 4th and 6.
So 4th and 6 here. Bears got the football there on their 29-yard line, so deep in their own territory. Coach Patman figuring go ahead and go for it. No sense in punting away here with 8 minutes to go. Try to get something going here. Giles takes the snap, and he's rolling left. He's got some space open, and he is brought down quickly
But there is a flag on the play. Several come in. I believe they're going to get the Connally defender on a horse collar tackle of Flores Giles. Happened right in front of the referee. So fortunate for the Bears there that got a personal foul penalty against Connally to keep this drive going.
Jeff Ward there gets to be the recipient of the penalty there, but yeah. Referee's not able to look the other way on that one. And so, the drive will stay alive here for Bastrop. Ball now on the Bastrop 44-yard line. Flores Giles, 2 receivers down to his right. Got Brown in the backfield with him. Hands it off to Brown. Brown tries to bounce it outside. He's got some room to the 50, down to the 40, before he's driven out of bounds there. Eddie Brown, the junior running back for the Bears, is getting some positive yardage there. Picks up a first down plus a little more.
Yeah, Brown's yards after contact there were several. He got a good stiff arm in as he was working his way over to the left side of the field and picked up a first down.
So Bears trying to keep this drive alive, trying to get back on the scoreboard again. Down 3 touchdowns here with 7:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Giles on the keeper, to the 40, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Bears.
Wow, great run there by Romello Flores Giles to get around the left side, and that's the Bears' first offensive touchdown of the night.
Yeah, John, we had been talking earlier about whenever we were wondering when we were going to see Flores Giles run the ball. That was actually a designed run the entire way, and runs to the wide side of the field. Extra point ensuing. The kick is up, and it is good. Kick good by Diego Cruz. So with 7:24 to go here in the contest, Bastrop gets on the board. Cougars lead 24-10 though. So we'll be back here with the conclusion of this game here in just a minute. You're listening to Bear Football, KMAC Sports.
Purchase a copy of this or any KMAC broadcast for personal use, and portions of the proceeds go to your school. Whether you're making a highlight video or just want to be able to enjoy this game years in the future, send us a note to info@kmacsports.com. That's info@kmacsports.com. We can even do some editing for you for a small fee. Purchase any broadcast for personal use. Hit us up. info@kmacsports.com. Bringing your teams and your highlights to you. We are KMAC Sports.
Bastrop Bear Football, KMAC Sports. Romello Flores Giles scoring there on a quarterback keep there to pull the Bears within 2 touchdowns of the Connally Cougars. Connally leading here 24-10, 7:24 to go here in the contest.
Be interesting to see if Bastrop elects to onside kick this. Diego Cruz on to kick it for the Bears.
And they do, and it is quickly fallen on there.
Kicked it right into one of the up men for Connally Cougars.
So that's Dyson McGrew, the sophomore for the Connally Cougars. Probably some relation to the junior quarterback Darius McGrew, who has had a big night tonight here for the Cougars. The ball will be on the Connally 45-yard line.
Kind of looking at the radar, looks like we're going to be in good shape here for the remainder of the evening with 7:21 to go in the football game.
So Darius McGrew puts a man in motion. And a flag on the play.
Seems to be the recurring theme of the fourth quarter. Lots of penalties.
So they're going to get them for delay a game here, John.
All right, that's good for the Bears. Back them up 5 yards. Ball's going to be spotted at the Connally 40-yard line, 1st and 15.
McGrew again puts a man in motion. That man joins McGrew in the backfield. Snap to McGrew. Handoff there to the running back. Charges up the middle. Maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe picks up a couple more. That was Demetrius Gardner there.
Greg Rivas in on the tackle for the Bears at the defensive tackle spot.
So it looks like about 2nd and 14 to go here for Connally. Bastrop definitely would love to get this ball back. Probably one thing they'd really like to see is a punt. We get into the hands of old Cedric Tarver there.
Connally taking their time, letting the play clock run down before they snap it. Makes sense with a 14-point lead.
So McGrew puts a man in motion. Hands it off to Gardner. Gardner is hit right as soon as he got the ball there.
Simeon Thompson, wow, came off the edge and hit Gardner really quickly as another tackle for a loss.
Yeah, Simeon Thompson just reading that one the whole way. He's joined by Greg Rivas there on the tackle. Going to be 3rd and 17 here for Connally. Play clock now down to 15 seconds.
Connally looks content to just take their time, let the play clock and the game clock run down as much as they can.
So McGrew takes the snap. Swings it out there to Francois. Francois's got space to the 40, to the 50, and he is brought out of bounds there. That was number 6, Faison Madison, drives him out of bounds.
I think it's going to be enough for a first down. It's really close to the sticks, and yep, they're giving them the first down. Wow.
Yeah, Francois, just the big playmaker there for the Cougars, had a little bit of space, and he can get some speed going there pretty fast. Now the Cougars are now back into Bastrop territory. Ball now on the 45-yard line with 5:40 to go here in the contest. Bears showing blitz. McGrew hands off to Gardner. Gardner bounces outside again, and he is brought down there. That was number 72 there, Jacob Williams, running down the ball carrier, Demetrius Gardner from behind.
Actually, I think that was number 22, Lance Menendez, as the ball carrier for Connally. Looks like Demetrius Gardner's night might be over. Just giving him a little break here in the 4th quarter. But, yeah, that was number 22, Lance Menendez, on that carry in the backfield with McGrew right now.
So McGrew with 3 receivers down to his left. Francois on the reception at the 50. Spins out of a tackle down to the 40, the 35, the 30. And he is brought down there by Faison Madison. We may have a face mask, though. Francois put his hand up in Fazion's face, and this one may be coming back.
Yeah, it is. I see the linesman giving the face mask call to the referee. And, yeah, that one's coming back. Fortunate for the Bears there because that was going to be a big pickup.
That might have been the nail in the coffin right there if that one was allowed to stand. So Bears getting a little bit of breathing room here. The big pickup will be erased. And it will now be 2nd and 8 here. Ball is on the Bastrop Bear 43-yard line. McGrew takes a snap, hands it off to Menendez. Menendez charges forward, the big running back there. Barrels through. Lance Menendez, the senior running back for the Connally Cougars.
So big play here for Bastrop. If they can figure out a way to get a stop and get the defense off the field, get the offense back on. When they snap this ball, it's going to be under 4 minutes left in the game, though.
So 3rd, call it 3. Ball snap to McGrew. Hands off to Menendez again, and he's brought down again there. Right as soon as he tried to bounce it outside. That looked like Tyron Smith there on the tackle.
It was Tyron on the tackle. It looks like Patman's going to take a timeout right at the 4-minute mark on a play that's going to bring up 4th and 6 from the 41-yard line. So if Bastrop can figure out a way to get back on the field, get a touchdown quickly, and get within 1 score, could make things interesting down the stretch.
Yeah, could take this game back into being like the Connally Bastrop games that we've seen the last couple of years.
It would be nice if on this punt, I assume that Connally will be punting on 4th and 6 from the 41-yard line. It'd be nice if it could be a big return. Haven't seen Cedric Tarver in at all in the second half. There was a play early in the second quarter that I saw him come hobbling off the sideline after he was tackled. So Cedric Tarver as a return man doesn't look like that's going to be possible. But it looks like it is going to be number 7, Alex Crouch, going back to field this punt. He's standing on his own 20-yard line right now.
All right, so with 4 minutes to go in the contest, actually 4:04, looks like they added 4 seconds on. Patman got 4 seconds added on there. Connally letting this clock run down. Punt is up. It will take a big Connally bounce. Connally will kill the ball there on about the 2-inch line, John.
Wow, you know what? Connally almost let that squirt into the end zone, but they were managed to come in and field that punt. And if Bastrop's going to score, it's going to take 99 yards and then some, because that ball is at about the 2-foot line, 1-foot line, something like that, way on down in Bastrop territory. You almost worry about a safety as a result of that.
Yeah, nose of the ball almost touching the goal line there. About as close as you can get it. So Connally with an excellent play there. Bastrop is going to have 3:54 to work with here. Romello, Flores, Giles. Sophomore quarterback for the Bears, scoring on their last touchdown. But he's going to need a lot here. He's going to have to engineer an almost 100-yard drive. Snap to Giles. He's going to put it up in the air. He's got a man open. But the ball is thrown out of bounds. So intended receiver on the play. That was Donovan Strong for the Bears.
Yeah, a little bit let him too much, and that ball squirted out of bounds. So going to bring up 2nd and 10 from the 1-foot line.
So, Romello, Giles, Flores, with one running back in the backfield with him, hands it off to that running back. And he is under pressure, and he is sacked, and that's going to be a safety, John.
Yep, that's what I was afraid of, is a safety. And they tried to run a little zone read there. Flores Giles kept it and is brought down in the end zone for a safety.
Yeah, he not able to get to the outside. Connally's got some good speed on the outside, and we knew that, but really never had a chance there on that play. So Connally will now go up 26-10 and get the ball back.
Yeah, special teams set that up with a good punt and a good recovery of that punt down at the less than 1 yard line. And so with the 26-10 lead, Connally will get the ball back after the safety.
Yeah, and you got to say, John, Bastrop's just kind of looks a little flat tonight. I was talking with Coach Patman there in our pregame interview, and I got to say, I think without a doubt, not having turf there at Bastrop High School is a big hindrance. It's been really, really tough for these kids to go out and get a good practice in. Almost every school in the Central Texas area that I know of has turf, and so it looks pretty. It's nice. And is falling on there. That's number 24, McAnthony Everest. Great kick there by Martinez, just what they needed, but it might just be too little too late here for the Bastrop Bears tonight.
Yeah, that was a really good kick by Martinez. I got it all the way down to the Connally 22-yard line, and he kicked that from his own 20. So good strong kick by Martinez, but time is running out for the Bears. 3:38 to go in this last non-district game of the 2018 season for the Bears. Bears will have to get 3 scores, get back in it. Actually, I guess technically they can get 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie it, but not really likely with 3:38 to go.
All right, so ball there on the 22-yard line for Connally.
Timeout by Connally.
So Connally will take a timeout here. We'll go ahead and take one more last timeout here before we get down to the conclusion of this match. So once again, Connally leads 26-10 over Bastrop. Actually, we may not take a timeout here. It looks like they may have just been bringing some water out and may get ready to go again. Yeah, what do you think, John?
Well, I think we're going to keep it here.
Yeah.
That was just a quick little water break. They are charged with the timeout, Connally was. They've got one left before the end of the game. Bears with 2 timeouts left. But Connally with a 16-point lead with the ball. 3:38 to go in the fourth quarter. And so it's been kind of a long night for the Bears.
Yeah, I think without a doubt the player of the night tonight is the Connally defense. They've done a really good job of just limiting the momentum that the Bears have gotten. So here we go. 3:38 to go in the contest. Handoff is to, that is number 22 again, Lance Menendez. Menendez picks up 3 or 4 yards there.
Another man down for Connally. Training staff rushing out onto the field.
Looks like number 24 there, McAnthony Everest. We give a cool name of the night award. I think McAnthony Everest is going to win it for this one. I think Diamante Francois took it last year.
I was going to say that's a pretty good one too.
Yeah. Connally just definitely too much for the Bears tonight. They were faster. They executed a little bit better. Had the big plays when they needed them. Definitely, no doubt, the Diamante Francois' 90-yard punt return for a touchdown. The big play of the night. Just the gut punch that the Bears could never seem to get over. And now here with 3:26 to go in the contest. Darius McGrew still in at quarterback for Connally. Go ahead and turn the crowd mic down there so that you out there,
some exuberant fans there,
radio
right next to our crowd mic,
don't have to hear Pflugerville's finest. So here we go. So McGrew takes the snap. He hands it off to Menendez. Menendez charging hard again, and he is brought down there by Simeon Rice.
Up for the first down, looks like.
Yeah, and those chains will move.
Right at the 3-minute mark is where the clock stops while the chain gang resets their sticks there.
The flag comes flying through the air.
Man, a lot of penalties in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely. This is probably going to be maybe a personal foul, I would imagine.
So unsportsmanlike against the Cougars. That's a 15-yarder. So I believe, though, they still get the first down.
Yeah, definitely this game probably I'd have to say, too, was won in the trenches, John. I think the Connally offensive line has done a really excellent job, too, just kind of protecting the quarterback and giving the offense time to pick their holes here. So, ball is now on the, call it 17-yard line of the Connally Cougars. Clock rolling down here. Play clock now under 10. Connally looks like they're going to go ahead and run this down all the way to the very end. Ball snap, handoff to Menendez. Menendez spins out.
Zevon Burnett there in on the tackle. Tackling for a little bit of a loss, going to bring up second and really long after the 15-yard penalty.
Alex Crouch there on the tackle as well.
It does not look like the Bears are going to use their last 2 timeouts. They're just going to let this clock roll, getting down close to the 2-minute mark in the game.
Yeah, got to be kind of difficult at this point, like you said. 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, and that's assuming that you get the onside kick. So here we go. Darius McGrew, quarterback for Connally, takes a snap, hands it off to Menendez again. Menendez charges forward, picks up about 3 or 4 yards.
Number 33 for the Bears in on that tackle. That was Logan Gasky. Comes up a little bit hobbled there after that, but he's staying on the field. And actually the Bears did use one of the last of their 2 timeouts. Clock stopped at 1:41 to go in the game. It's going to bring up 3rd and 24. Balls on the 19-yard line of the Cougars. So my guess is they'll run one more play. Maybe Patman will use his last time out before maybe a punt by the Cougars. And not a lot of time left in this one.
Yeah. Bears, if they do get the ball back, will probably be looking to go for the home run there pretty quick.
Gotta say, it's a nice facility here at the field, although I could use some air conditioning in the press box.
Yeah, without a doubt. The field looks a lot like the facility there at Georgetown that we'll be going to here a little bit later in the year. But definitely a very good-looking stadium here. Taxpayer money well spent. But, yeah, they got to fix that air conditioning because it's pretty steamy in here. Thank goodness it's not the middle of the summer. So McGrew in at quarterback. He's got 3 receivers down to his left. 1 running back, Menendez, in the backfield with him. McGrew takes the ball, hands it off to Menendez. Ball looks like it might have bounced out there. Simeon Thompson there on the tackle.
Yep, good play by Simeon Thompson. And the Bears do call timeout, use their last one.
Bears will stop that clock there. 1:34 here to go in the contest. Bears needing to come back and score 16 points in a hurry.
And in a minute and a half.
Definitely be trying to go for a full-on block here, if possible. That said, Connally's punting hasn't been the prettiest, but it was pretty effective there on the last punt. Be able to get that ball down on the inch line there, which resulted in a safety. So that's going to be number 10 there, Derek Phillips for Pflugerville Connally. Alex Crouch will be back deep to receive for Bastrop.
Yep, Crouch standing at about midfield.
And the punt is up. Crouch runs over to try to get it. And it bounces out of bounds there, about the 49-yard line for Connally. So with 1:34 to go here, Bastrop's going to have about half the field to go. Try to get a quick touchdown, convert the 2 points. Onside kick this thing and see if we can't take this to overtime, John.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, and an onside kick in there. And maybe you can get it to overtime.
All right, so Romello Giles Flores in at quarterback for the Bears. Rolls out to his left, looking to pass it. Ball is up in the air, and pass is incomplete. Pass intended for number 22, Nathan Blair.
Yeah, Flores Giles had some zip on it, but Blair couldn't haul it in. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, without a doubt, Flores Giles, we kind of usually we think a lot of him as a kind of more of a running quarterback. He does have some really, really good speed, and I think tonight that he's actually shown a pretty good arm. Not always perfectly accurate, but definitely showing some arm strength. Something that the Bears might be depending on here in the future. Giles Flores takes a snap. Ball is up in the air, and pass is broken up there. There's a flag on the play. Giles looking to try to hook up with Blair again. Almost looked very, very similar play that we saw last time. So pass interference there is going to give Bastrop a first down, move the chains, and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, minute 20 to go.
Probably these routes are kind of designed to try to get the receiver over there to the sideline, try to get them out of bounds and stop that clock. I suspect at some point here we're going to probably see maybe a home run ball going for the end zone. Connally got 5 defensive backs back. Giles Flores now rolling to his right. And pass skips off the ground, incomplete, intended for Donovan Strong.
Yeah, kind of short hopped it there to Strong. Didn't really give him much of a chance to catch it. But it's 2nd and 10 now.
So 1:14 to go here. That play only took about 6 seconds off the clock. So Giles Flores looking to the sideline, getting his instructions from the coaching staff. Takes the snap. And he's going to run it, put it on the ground. He's got some space there to the 30, to the 25, still on his feet, and picks up a first down.
Yeah, clock will stop while the resetting the chains. 1:02 left, and Bastrop's going to have to go quick.
All right, so now at under a minute, Giles Flores takes a snap. Punt fake. Got a man open. Donovan Strong down to the 1-yard line. Nice pass there by Giles Flores. Donovan Strong hauls that in and just tries to get into the end zone. Clock continuing to run, though. Even though they are moving the chains, the clock worker here is just going to go ahead and let that one go. Snap to Giles Flores. Handoff to Brown.
He's in.
And he's touchdown. In. Touchdown. So Eddie Brown, touchdown Bears.
With 32 seconds to go. And you got to go for 2 here.
All right, so 26-16 here, Connally. 32 seconds left in the contest here.
Yeah, Flores Giles looking over to the sideline.
So, Bears needed to convert here to stay in this one. Flores Giles takes a snap. Passes to Blair, and Blair is bottled up and brought down there.
Unsuccessful 2-point conversion attempt. So they needed to have that one with 32 seconds left to stay in the game, but we're now down 10 points, 26-16, with half a minute left. So we're going to break it here for last time tonight, and we'll be back for the conclusion of the game. Bears football on KMAX Sports.
Purchase a copy of this or any KMAC broadcast for personal use, and portions of the proceeds go to your school. Whether you're making a highlight video or just want to be able to enjoy this game years in the future, send us a note to info@kmaxsports.com. That's info@kmaxsports.com. We can even do some editing for you for a small fee. Purchase any broadcast for personal use. Hit us up. info@kmaxsports.com. Bringing your teams and your highlights to you. We are KMAX Sports.
Bastrop Bear football on KMAX Sports. 32 seconds to go here in the game. Connally up 26-16. Romello Flores Giles not able to get that pass off to actually completes the pass to Blair, but Blair not able to get it over the goal line to convert the 2 points, and so Bastrop will kick it here. I'm assuming they're going to probably try onside kick, and they do. Ball bounces. It's free, and Connally falls on it.
Boy, Tyron Smith just laid a lick on one of the Connally return team men. Try to get in there to pounce on it, but could not. Connally recovers it, and 25 seconds to go, and Bastrop with no timeouts. Connally's just going to be able to get in victory formation and take a knee.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, you got to say definitely Connally looks looking like the better team tonight. Looked a lot sharper, made the big plays when they need to, and their defense played fantastic. So, 25 seconds to go here. Darius McGrew.
Another flag. Delay a game.
Delay a game, okay.
Not really consequential for Pflugerville at this point, because really they just have to take one knee here. The play clock is at 25 seconds. The game clock is at 25 seconds. So they take one knee here, and the game will be over.
And there's the knee. And the teams will now come out and shake hands. So, as the clock winds down here in this contest, Bastrop will drop their first game of the season. Will go to 2-1. Connally on homecoming night will defeat the Bastrop Bears 26-16. Hard-fought game, but without a doubt, the Connally Cougars definitely a little bit sharper, a little bit better tonight. Connally getting their first win of the season, and after a couple of kind of close games there, but the guys look really sharp tonight. They got some good athletes on this team, and Darius McGrew doing a good job of running that offense. But like I said earlier, John, I think the big story tonight is definitely the Connally defense. I think they played great. They did a good job of limiting Bastrop's options. Bastrop looked like they were going to be able to move the ball early and effectively, and Connally just kind of clamped it down there.
Yeah, took till late in the game for Bastrop to get their touchdown. They were stuck on 3 points for basically the entire game because they kicked a field goal on their first drive of the game and didn't score again until the fourth quarter. So give credit to the Connally defense tonight. But there's some things that looked good for the Bears. Bears defense played pretty well again tonight. Tyron Smith and Simeon Thompson would be the two guys that I would point to as kind of players of the game for the Bastrop defense tonight in the 10-point loss to Connally. But not the end of the world. It's a non-district game, and you'll look to take a week off. Hopefully, like you said, Robert, we'll get some practice in over these next 2 weeks if the rain will let up and let the boys get back out on the grass field back over at campus. And then we'll be back here Thursday night, September 27th, for the first district game of the season for the Bears against Pflugerville Weiss, who is new to football this year on the varsity level. So we're going to break it here, and we'll come right back with some of our closing thoughts before we leave you for the evening. Final score was Pflugerville Connally 26, Bastrop Bears 16. We'll be back with our post-game wrap-up. You're listening to Bears Football on KMAX Sports.
Do you love the game of football? Wish you could be part of the action? Then become a football official. The Austin Football Officials Association is actively seeking new members to officiate games all across Central Texas. The Austin Football Chapter of TASO, the Texas Association of Sports Officials, provides a 2-year training program for new members. Taught by a crew of veteran officials, these training classes meet each Monday night from July through November and include classroom and on-field instruction. You don't need to be an ex-player or a coach to become a great official and have a memorable officiating career. As our officials will tell you, working around student athletes at all levels of football is gratifying. Plus, you'll develop lifelong friendships with other officials who share your passion for the game. Officiating football is a great way to get into and stay in shape, be a positive role model for student athletes, retain your competitive edge, and earn additional income. Visit the Austin Football Officials Association online at afoa.ws for more information. That's afoa.ws.
Bastrop Bear football on KMAX Sports. Bastrop drops their first contest of the season, 26-16, to the Pflugerville Connally Cougars here up in Pflugerville. First away game for the Bears, and Bears will not go undefeated this season. And the non-district season ends for the Bears to resume actually 2 weeks. A little bit less than 2 weeks. It's going to be a Thursday night game, but we'll have a bye week next week, and then Bastrop will be back up here at the field in Pflugerville to take on Weiss.
Yeah, so just not the night for the Bears. It was Connally's night tonight, losing by 10 points. But there's some good things to take away from this. Defense played pretty well. Connally's a bigger school. That's another thing you can kind of point to is they're in Division I of Class 5A, the Bears being in Division II. They hung with them pretty well, but at the end of the day, Connally's offense was just a little too much, and the Bears' offense really couldn't get much going tonight. But you'll go take your bye week, heal some guys up. My guess is, kind of mentioned this to you, Robert, in our break there. If this had been a district game, my guess is you would have seen Desmond Young in the second half playing in this game. So I'm sure he'll be out and rehabbing his little injury there and be ready to go for the first district game against Pflugerville Weiss in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and give credit to Romello Flores-Giles, too. He did a really good job. You know, these backup quarterbacks, one of the disadvantages that they have is they don't get to get in and work with the first-team offense all that often during practice. And like we mentioned, too, the big elephant in the room is just that Bastrop is just one of these schools, one of the very, very few that just does not have turf on their field. Even our sister school in Bastrop ISD has turf, so we miss practice days, or practice is just not as effective as when you just can't practice in the mud. There's just no way. There's no two ways about it. So I thought Romello Flores-Giles did a really good job getting in there. I thought he showed a good, strong arm. We know he can run, so I think he did a good job. Give some credit to Eddie Brown too. He made some nice runs. And the defense really, I think the defense did all they could. It's just whenever you play Connally, you know they're going to put points on the board. They've got lots of speed. And the last 2 years that we've played these guys, it's just been a situation where you just flat out have to outscore them.
Yeah, always competitive games against Connally these last 3 seasons, and the home team has won all 3 of them. So good night for Connally, not a great night for the Bears, but the Bears will be back in 2 weeks to get it going again for district play. So we're going to leave it here, and final score one more time was Pflugerville Connally Cougars 26, Bastrop Bears 16. Robert, any final thoughts?
Nope. Like you said, Bastrop they'll regroup, heal some people up, and hopefully come back up here in 2 weeks and have a much better result to go 1-0 in district. So we'll see. So you folks have a good night out there. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Stay dry as you can. And we will be with you guys up here against the Weiss Wolves for the district opener for the Bears in a couple of weeks. So once again, Connally 26, Bastrop 16. You have been listening to Bastrop Bear Football on KMAX Sports. Good night now.
Vype Media is the state's most comprehensive high school sports media outlet covering UIL, private schools. Vype has been in Texas for over a decade. Visit their website at Vype, VYPE, Texas.com. And also pick up your Vype magazine today. Get in the game with Vype Media.